Chapter 3980. The followers heaved a sigh of relief. They wanted to mock Lin Wudi, but they didn't know what to say. Lin Wudi was just a young chief disciple. His cultivation base was far behind them. But now, he was able to escape from Yu Quan's hands. Was this something worth mocking? They didn't think so. This showed how strong Lin Wudi was. Yu Quan snorted coldly. If he missed, he would attack again. This time, he would definitely kill Lin Wudi. An ant had provoked him time and time again, and had even killed his younger brother. He couldn't stand it. So, he attacked again. The aura of desolation filled the whole world. Go to hell, kid. Lin Xian felt a great danger. He gritted his teeth and roared, holding up the Taiji diagram to resist. Asterisk boom. Asterisk he was pushed back. His arms were numb. The Taiji diagram scattered, turning into the law of sun and law of death. Lin Xian was shocked. His opponent was too strong. He had to use all his strength to deal with a casual attack, and he couldn't block it. This couldn't go on. A useless ant will always be an ant. Although you're in the top 3 among the chief disciples, you can't even withstand a single blow from me. Yu Quan's eyes were filled with endless coldness and fear. The 9-headed spirit was also horrified. Indeed, there was a huge gap between them and the pilgrim list. If they didn't break through to the minor saint realm, they wouldn't be able to compete with him. Great, this kid is dead. Lung Ruffing snorted. The 9-headed Qilin also heaved a sigh of relief. With such a strong enemy dead, his path should be much smoother. Even Lei Zhan, who was far away in the 9th region, and the people of the net were excited. Not good. Murong Qingcheng was anxious. He wanted to cross the region to save Lin Wudi. Li Hongxiu stopped him. Don't go. We'll wait for you outside. In the 1st region, the Crimson Dragon, the Toad, and the others also rushed back quickly. Each of them was extremely nervous. However, at this moment of crisis, a beautiful figure appeared in the 6th region. She tore apart the desolation aura that filled the sky and said softly, "Why did you run away halfway through the battle? This won't do. I'll continue to play with you." Her voice was filled with endless charm, causing the blood of the people in the 7th district to boil. They almost exploded. Even Lin Xian could feel his blood boiling. Not good. He quickly suppressed it. This was an extremely powerful soul attack. He looked at the beautiful figure, and his pupils shrank. Qin Xiener was someone on the pilgrim rankings. This woman's soul attack was extremely terrifying. Ding ding dang dang dang. The joyous union bell rang, and a terrifying sound wave rushed towards secluded spring. Damn it! Yu Quan roared angrily. This woman was simply like a haunting ghost. She was going too far. The other party actually dared to attack his area. With a roar, he charged forward. At the same time, the surrounding aura of desolation fluctuated continuously. Lin Xian's figure flashed. He wanted to leave. Do you want to leave? Those followers prepared to surround and attack, but in the end, they were sent flying by Xian's 2 swords. Lin Xian went on a killing spree and began to crazily plunder the heavenly Dao Golden Lotus. He even made a move on the Dao Flower. I won't miss any of them. Those followers suffered another blow. Damn it! Secluded Spring roared angrily. This kid dared to attack in front of him. He was too hateful. However, he couldn't be distracted because he was firmly restrained by Qin Xiener. Previously, he was distracted by Lin Xian's matter and suffered a soul injury, so he left. Therefore, he didn't dare to be careless at all. Lin Xian obtained 4 more heavenly Dao Golden Lotuses. He tore apart the aura of desolation and left the 7th area. He returned to the 8th area. That's great. Murong Qingcheng and the others heaved a sigh of relief and left. Lin Xian returned to the 9th area. He took a deep breath and said, "Protect me. I'm going to break through." His eyes burst out with a sonorous light. The simple exchange with secluded Spring made him know that the other party was indeed very strong. With his current strength, it would be difficult for him to fight against the other party. Therefore, he was ready to break through again. After his cultivation level broke through, he would definitely be able to fight against these people. Are you going to break through here? Li Hongxiu was surprised. Crimson Dragon and the others were also surprised. But soon, they asked, "Kid, what are you going to do?" There weren't many treasures in this place, only ruthless killing. Lin Xian said, I'm going to completely absorb these heavenly Tao golden lotuses. Protect me. Murong Qingchang and the others nodded and began to guard the surroundings. No one in the 9th area dared to provoke them. They could deal with the people from the 1st and 8th areas. As for the geniuses on the pilgrim list, they were not in the mood to pay attention to Lin Xian at all. They were all fighting on their own. Therefore, Lin Xian had such a chance now. He sat down cross-legged, and the 12 heavenly Tao golden lotuses kept spinning around him. Lin Xian reached out and grabbed one of them and directly absorbed it into his body. This scene caused everyone to be terrified. Lin Wuti was actually going to absorb these heavenly Tao golden lotuses. It was really unbelievable. These heavenly Tao golden lotuses were extremely mysterious. They accompanied them and could constantly temper their nomological laws. But they had never thought of absorbing them. Lin Xian's current actions were really shocking. Everyone's eyes were fixed on him. Even Murong Qingcheng and the others were extremely nervous, but they guessed that Lin Xian must have his own plans. He wouldn't do something that he wasn't confident of. Lin Xian did have a certain plan. He knew that these heavenly Tao golden lotuses contained supreme power, but he wasn't confident at all. But now, as long as there was a chance, he wouldn't miss it. When a heavenly Tao golden lotus entered, supreme power burst out and rushed into his flesh and meridians. Lin Xian felt a pain, as if he was being cut by a knife. He endured the aura and quickly absorbed it. Then, the 2nd and the 3rd. Lin Xian swallowed all 12 heavenly Tao golden lotuses into his body. His body was shrouded in endless light, and the great Tao intertwined. Brother Xian, I'll give you mine too. Murong Qingcheng gave out 5 heavenly Tao golden lotuses. She gave them to Lin Xian. I'll give them too. The Crimson Dragon, the Northern Demon, and the others also gave them to him. The toad itself was a beast here, so he didn't have any. When Li Hongxiu saw this, she sighed as well. She had given her share to Lin Xian as well. The heavenly Tao golden lotuses on Lin Xian's body shone brightly again. He looked like he was about to ascend. That kid wanted to break through. He definitely couldn't let him succeed. Not far away, someone roared. These were all Yu Quan's followers. There were people from the great desolate mansion and other powerhouses. These people hated Lin Xian to the core. So when they saw this, they all rushed over. Once again, they crossed 2 areas and started fighting. Kill. They had to interfere with the other party, and it would be best if they could cause him to go berserk. Chapter 3981. Damn it. The Crimson Dragon roared at the sky and spewed out endless flames. Murong Qingcheng also unleashed a terrifying phantom of a phoenix. Lung Rufeng also rushed over, and the Bone Army spread out again. At the same time, he shouted angrily, Lei Zhen, 9 Chilants, aren't you going to attack? This is your last chance. He naturally knew the grudge between the 2 sides. Therefore, he wanted to unite everyone to fight together. Not good. Murong Qingcheng and the others' expressions were extremely ugly. Now that Lin Xian was in seclusion, these people were actually showing signs of resistance. If they attacked together, it would be very dangerous. They weren't afraid of these people, but they were afraid that Lin Xian would be affected. If that happened, he would definitely go berserk and be seriously injured. Hurry up and attack. Murong Qingcheng shouted. They worked together and swept through the surroundings. However, this time, there were more than 10 powerful saints, terrifying sacred artifacts and laws. The Northern Demon activated the heavenly tree to provide everyone with a strong vitality. They firmly protected Lin Xian. The Crimson Dragon spat out many tremors to protect Lin Xian. At the same time, he said that this kid was too impatient. If he had known, he would have activated the Great Sage Tower. However, there was no other choice now. Without Lin Xian, no one could activate the Great Sage Tower, and they couldn't awaken Lin Xian now. Therefore, they could only force the enemy to retreat. Lei Zhen returned to the 9th district, his eyes shining. To be honest, this was his best chance. However, he was indeed afraid of Lin Xian, so he wasn't completely confident now. He snorted coldly. He didn't make a move, but had other plans. In his current state, it would be best if he could kill Lin Xian. If he couldn't, he wouldn't make a move to save himself from trouble. However, on the other side, the 9 Qilins did indeed make a move. He had the same worries as Lei Zhan, but he had an advantage over Lei Zhan. That was that he had multiple lives, and he could exhaust them. Even if he had lost 2 lives, he still had 7 left. This was his powerful capital, and now he felt that the risk was very worth it. At most, he would lose his life. However, if he succeeded, he would be able to get rid of a peerless enemy forever. Therefore, he charged over. Some of the greater demons from the demon city had also charged over from the surrounding areas. District 9. The 5 sword saints also made their move. They were in this area and were not suppressed by the great Tao. Therefore, his attacks were incomparably violent. Damn it! How dare you rebel? The Crimson Dragon roared. It hadn't expected that someone would really attack in the 9th region. Li Hongxiu looked at Lei Zhan coldly. Lei Zhan snorted coldly. In order to avoid arousing suspicion, he actually left District 9 and went to District 1. That was a relief to them. Lei Zhan didn't make a move, but it wasn't the worst. However, the current situation had also exceeded their expectations. The 5 sword saints were incomparably powerful as they charged over. Li Hongxiu said, "Leave these 5 people to me." She rushed out. As the daughter of the Saint King, she was extremely powerful, especially during this period of time. She had a lot of good fortune. Therefore, he had no problem fighting against a great sword saint. On the other side, the 9 Qilins had also charged over. That was an extremely terrifying expert. Everyone's scalps went numb. Murong Qingqing said, "Leave it to me." She rushed over with the Phoenix bloodline. Her mystical powers were powerful, and she was not weaker than the other party in terms of bloodline. Therefore, she was the most suitable person to fight the 9 Qilins. Toad, I'll leave that person from the Acheron Hall to you. Leave the rest to me. The Crimson Dragon's expression was piercingly cold. Toad said, "Don't worry, leave it to me." He rushed out with a cry and fought with Lung Rufin and the others. The rest were left to the Crimson Dragon. The Crimson Dragon roared and transformed into a huge dragon, sweeping in all directions. As for the Northern Demon, he did not make a move because he still had the most important task, which was to protect Lin Xian. The Northern Demon's body bloomed with light, and the heavenly tree enveloped Lin Xian, forming a powerful vitality. Moreover, there were many array formations surrounding them. In an instant, an earth-shattering battle broke out in the 9th region. Murong Qingqing was very strong. She had the Kunlun 9 slashes and the Phoenix bloodline. She also had various mystical powers. This caused the 9 Qilins to be extremely shocked. He did not expect that this woman was actually not weaker than him. Especially the power of her bloodline. It shocked him. On the other side, the 5 sword saints also roared. They were actually suppressed by a woman, and they were even injured. However, on the other side, Toad was indeed screaming miserably. "Damn, you dare to sneak attack me?" He had no choice. He was facing an endless army of bones and the terrifying Acheron. He was extremely miserable. If it were not for his mutated species and powerful physique, he would have been killed long ago. On the other side, the Crimson Dragon roared even more. To be honest, he was very strong, but the people he was facing were also a little terrifying. Those were all followers, and their strength was even stronger than that of the chief disciple. Although there were 20 chains of the great Tao wrapped around his body, there were too many people. There were a total of 8 people, and they came together. In addition, there were also some people who were preparing to fish in troubled waters and assassinate Lin Xian. Therefore, he was facing a lot of pressure. Fortunately, he was from the Divine Dragon clan. His physique and bloodline were powerful, and the Dragon clan's mystical powers were terrifying. In addition, he had many array formations. Only then could he resist. Otherwise, if it were any other chief disciple, they would have been killed long ago. Even so, he was still in a very bad situation. That's great. All of them have been pinned down. Hurry up. Whoever has a grudge against Lin Wudi, quickly kill him. The great desolate mansion will reward you handsomely. You don't have to kill him. As long as you can make him go berserk, you can make any request. Many people were tempted, especially those in the 8th and 1st regions. Their eyes were burning. Indeed, at this time, there was only one person beside Lin Xian. It was very easy for them to interfere with the other party. Even Lei Zhan, who was in the first region, had a burning gaze. He could not help but want to make a move several times, but he forcibly suppressed it. The surrounding people were also shocked. They were indeed tempted, but they did not dare to make a move rashly. Lin Wudi's strength was deeply rooted in their hearts. However, at this moment, the array formations fluctuated, and 3 of them broke in an instant. The sky-reaching tree also shook. The North Demon roared angrily. Who was it? He threw out a terrifying 10,000 demon fist. Countless demon beast phantoms rampaged between heaven and earth, shattering the void. However, no one came out. However, he could feel a terrifying murderous intent circling around him. Oh no, there's an assassin, and it's an extremely terrifying Saint Killer. The North Demon's expression became extremely ugly, and the others' bodies trembled. The killing intent made their scalps go numb. Where did this top assassin come from? How could he be so powerful? Li Hongxiu's expression changed. Could it be that he was in the mortal world? Could it be that Wu Xian? Chapter 3982. They were worried, but they soon shook their heads. No, it wasn't Wu Xian. Wu Xian was on the pilgrimage list. He shouldn't have bothered to make a move. Once he made a move, no one would be able to stop him. Now, only 3 arrays had been destroyed. This meant that the other party was a 5th Heaven Killer Saint. He was very strong, but he wasn't helpless. As expected, the Northern Demon controlled the sky-reaching Divine Tree and his 10,000 demon body. He attacked the Saint Killer who was hiding in the dark. The 2 sides were in a stalemate. However, at this moment, he was sent flying while vomiting blood. A crack appeared on his back. He was almost cut in half. Damn it! The Northern Demon roared. Using the sky-reaching Divine Tree, his body quickly healed. At the same time, his expression was extremely ugly. The second Killer Saint had appeared. He was as strong as the first one. At that instant, he sensed 3 murderous intents approaching him. The Northern Demon's eyes widened. He took the attack head-on. His body was shattered, but with his powerful vitality, he was able to recover. With the recovery ability of the Heavenly Tree, he recovered quickly. He stood in the void with a cold expression. He was surrounded by 3 Killer Saints. It could be said that he was in extreme danger. Damn it! The Crimson Dragon roared and wanted to rush back. However, he was pinned down. Murong Qingqing and the others were in the same situation. No one could help the Northern Demon now. The Northern Demon could fight against 1 Killer Saint, but against 2 Killer Saints, he was probably more passive. Now that 3 Killer Saints were attacking together, he was in extreme danger. The 2 Slaughter Saints sprang into action at incredible speed. 1 in front and 1 behind, they charged at the Northern Demon. The third one charged at Lin Xian. You're courting death. The Northern Demon roared. The sky-reaching Divine Tree exploded with power, blocking the 3 Killer Saints. You're courting death. Someone in the sky sneered. The 3 Killer Saints attacked crazily. The Northern Demon was seriously injured in an instant. Blood flowed out. Fortunately, he had the sky-reaching Divine Tree. Otherwise, he would have been killed. Even so, the situation was very dangerous. Another attack. The Northern Demon was sent flying and vomited blood. 2 of the Killer Saints continued to chase. The third broke through the array and charged at Lin Xian. After breaking through 5 array formations in a row, he finally arrived in front of Lin Xian. This figure walked out of the void. It was a blurry shadow. The killing sword in his hand was blood red. Die. He swung his sword at Lin Xian's head. No. The Northern Demon roared. Kid. The Crimson Dragon also screamed. Older brother Xian and Murong Qingqing's eyes erupted with a piercing cold light. The Kunlu 9 slashes merged with the Phoenix Phantom and sent the 9-headed Qilin flying. She turned around and soared into the sky, but it was already too late. The killing sword had already descended mercilessly with a terrifying aura. This caused the formation around Lin Xian to continuously shatter. Everyone's minds were completely tied down. Could it be that Lin Wudi was going to fall at this time? It was really too surprising. The people that had participated in the battle revealed ferocious expressions. That's great. With this sword strike, even if the other party doesn't die, His cultivation will go berserk. Next, the other party would be finished. He would no longer be able to fight against them. At this critical moment, Lin Xian suddenly opened his eyes. He stretched out his palm and grabbed in front of him. With a whoosh, he grabbed the killing sword and then gripped it tightly. Crack! The killing sword shattered. That person retreated in horror. Lin Xian pointed out again. The extremely terrifying law of swords circled around the tip of his finger, firmly locking onto that person. That person still wanted to escape into the void, but the sword pierced through the space between his eyebrows. Plop! That killing god fell into a pool of blood. He didn't expect that at the last moment, the other party could still make a move. The surrounding people were also stunned. Oh heavens! Lin Wuti had actually woken up. Did he forcefully interrupt his cultivation? These people were all terrified. Those who attacked were even more frightened, their eyelids twitching wildly. That's great. Murong Qingqing and the others heaved a sigh of relief. At this moment, Lin Xian spat out a mouthful of blood, his face incomparably pale. What was going on? Murong Qingqing was stunned. Brother Xian, she cried out in alarm. The Crimson Dragon also frowned. Not good. This kid must have suffered a backlash from his cultivation technique. They began to worry again. Lin Xian forcefully disrupted his cultivation. He must have suffered internal injuries. When the surrounding people saw this scene, they all laughed out loud. That's great. He's injured. Hurry up and kill him while he's sick. These people attacked crazily again. Lin Xian wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, his eyes erupting with a piercing cold light. You all have to die. The murderous aura on his body was incomparable. In an instant, he charged towards the two killing saints who were besieging the northern demon. When the two killing saints saw Lin Xian charging towards them, they also took the initiative to meet him. The terrifying killing intent charged for 9 days. Lin Xian attacked, the Sun Sword and the Death Demonic Blade. Two rays of light spun between heaven and earth, enveloping the two killers. Two screams rang out. The bodies of the two killing saints split open. Their souls wanted to escape, emitting waves of fear. Too powerful. The other party was still so strong even though he was injured. In an instant, the two of them were completely killed. The heavenly Tao golden lotus on their bodies was snatched away by Lin Xian and directly swallowed into his body. Lin Xian roared towards the sky, his black hair dancing in the wind. He said to the northern demon, "You recover first, leave the rest to me." With a stomp of his foot, he charged towards the Crimson Dragon. Brat, you came at the right time. The Crimson God roared and sent those people flying. At the same time, he said, "Are you okay? Why don't we retreat first?" "No, I won't leave until I kill them all today." Lin Xian was really angry. He had already been very merciful to these people before. He didn't kill them all, but he didn't expect that these people would be so reckless. At the most critical moment of his cultivation, they came to kill him. Since that was the case, then they would suffer his anger. Boom! The great sun sword descended from the sky with terrifying flames, incinerating everything. There were too many laws contained in it. With one sword, those followers were instantly sent flying. Some were cut in half at the waist, and some had their heads flying. Some people's bodies were even shattered and turned into a bloody mist. Damn it! Why was he still so strong? These people were terrified. They realized that although Lin Xian kept vomiting blood, the aura on his body was becoming more and more violent. He was still alive. He was still cultivating. He still wanted to break through. Hurry up and stop him. You can't let him continue. Those followers roared crazily. They wanted the others to attack. The 9 Qilins, the 5 Sword Saints, Lung Rufeng, and the others saw this scene. They also kept attacking. However, they were firmly pinned down by Murong Qingqing and the others. They didn't even have a chance to escape. Damn it! Their eyes were red. Lin Xian attacked with all his strength, constantly chasing down these followers. 8 followers and 6 other family experts were all killed by Lin Xian. Chapter 3983. Corpses flew all over the sky, and blood flowed wildly. Terrifying sword chi rampaged between heaven and earth. Lin Xian roared and absorbed all of this power. At the same time, there was a dragon shadow behind him that was also crazily devouring this power. Lin Xian's aura became stronger. He even felt like he was about to break through. However, Lin Xian didn't break through at all. Instead, he suppressed it. Kill. With a roar, he charged towards the toad again. Great, kid. Come and help me. I'm going to torture you to death. As the toad fought against the bone army, it kept spitting saliva. To be honest, it was about to go crazy from anger. The people who had died around him could actually be mobilized by Long Rufin. The more it fought, the more bone army there was. It almost vomited blood. When Long Rufin saw the other party coming, he also shouted angrily. The Yellow Springs diagram on his body became even more terrifying, enveloping the entire area. In the 9th district, the corpses of the people who had died were once again condensed into puppets by him. It kept attacking. A sword split the sky. Lin Xian held the sun sword and the death demonic saber in his hands, slashing in all directions. He was so strong that no one could compare to him. At the same time, he struck out the Tai Chi diagram to fight against the Yellow Springs diagram. The two peerless divine abilities clashed, causing the sky to collapse and the earth to split. At this moment, everyone was sent flying. The bone army beside Long Rufin was constantly shattered and destroyed by the Tai Chi diagram. The dragon soul in Lin Xian's body roared and struck out with sword chi, which was even more terrifying. The sword chi that filled the sky shattered the Yellow Springs diagram. In the end, the yin-yang diagram turned into a yin-yang sword and split open the Yellow Springs diagram. Puff. Long Rufin vomited blood. Ah, damn it. He was seriously injured in an instant. Was the other party so strong? Lin Xian also spat out a mouthful of blood, but his eyes were even brighter. I've spared you twice, but you still don't know what's good for you. Do you think I don't dare to kill you? The Tai Chi diagram rotated and turned into a peerless blade that pierced towards the other party's head. No. Long Rufin screamed crazily. He wanted to retreat, but his head was cut off in one strike. His head over the sky was abnormally ferocious. Damn it, I'm going to kill you. Roaring, he opened his mouth and spat out a yellow flame. The flames were terrifying and carried with them a sinister aura. Not good. The toad instantly retreated frantically. Kid, this is the Yellow Springs flame. Be careful, it's unusually scary. The flames were indeed terrifying. Ordinary flames carried a violent and destructive aura. However, this flame was incomparably cold, like ice. Legend has it that this flame came from the Yellow Springs, which was extremely strange. Die for me. Long Rufin controlled the netherworld flame and charged over again. He wanted to completely burn and refine Lin Xian. Playing with fire in front of me? Displaying one slight skill before an expert. Lin Xian sneered. The 9 suns' divine fire danced and turned into golden crows. It surged between heaven and earth. It was as if countless suns had appeared in the 9th region. The golden crow suns that filled the sky continued to attack, erupting with an unparalleled aura. It blasted forward. When the two collided, the netherworld flame was unable to withstand the impact and exploded. Boom. Long Rufin's head also exploded with a loud bang. His soul, mixed with blood, quickly fled. Wanna leave? Lin Xian sneered. The Tai Chi diagram above his head turned into a Tai Chi sword. The sword slashed down. In the 9th region, a dragon's roar sounded. The terrifying sword chi swept across the 9 heavens. When all the sword chi disappeared, Long Rufin's soul couldn't be any more dead. Long Rufin was killed. Everyone was shocked and then terrified. This was even more powerful than the identity of a follower. He was the chief disciple of the Yellow Springs Hall. Such a person's death would set off a huge storm. However, this storm was nothing to Lin Xian. He turned his head and stared at another place. That was the 5 sword saints. These 5 sword saints actually dared to betray him. Lin Xian couldn't tolerate it. The 5 sword saints were scared out of their wits. When Lin Xian killed Long Rufin, he used a sword technique. It already made their hair stand on end. Now that the other party was charging towards them, how could they resist? Let's go. The 5 of them worked together to force Li Hongxiu back and then prepared to escape. Where were they going? Li Hongxiu stopped the terrifying Lu Yunxiu and blocked the path of the 5 people. Damn it! The 5 of them roared. When they turned around and wanted to attack, Lin Xian had already arrived. The 5 of you, have you thought about how to die? Yi's voice was incomparably cold. Kid, don't go too far. Let us leave, and we will stop here. Everyone will be safe. One of the 5 sword saints said coldly. Even now, you still dare to clamor in front of me. It seems that you really don't know what's good for you. Buzz. Lin Xian moved the great sun sword in his hand. The flames on it erupted, turning into a terrifying sword light that pierced forward. With a puff, the head of one of the sword saints was blown apart. His body also turned into a bloody mist, and the terrifying sword chi exploded. The 2 next to him were also affected and were seriously injured. 1 sword, 1 dead and 2 injured. This power was terrifying to the extreme. Damn it! The remaining 4 sword saints were scared out of their wits. How could they fight with such combat strength? Moreover, they found that after killing Lung Rufin, Lin Xian spat out a lot of blood again. However, the other party's aura was even more violent. However, the other party was still suppressing it and didn't want to break through. What was the other party planning? It was hard for them to imagine that once the other party really broke through, what realm would he have to reach? This guy couldn't be thinking of achieving it in one go, right? These people were all terrified. Buzz. Suddenly, the world shook, and a terrifying aura tore through the 9th district. The void split open, and the light slashed down. Not good. Li Hongxiu's expression changed. Lu Yunxiu rushed out, wanting to block, but it was all shattered in an instant. Lin Xian's pupils constricted. He took Li Hongxiu with him and used space escape. He dodged this attack. At the same time, he looked into the distance. Who attacked? Was it that Wan Jianyi? That's great. The remaining 4 sword saints were ecstatic. Kid, do you still dare to attack now? Our powerhouse on the pilgrim list is right here. Before they could finish their words, their heads all flew out. Lin Xian attacked forcefully. So what if it was the pilgrim list? Even if the Saint King was here today, I would still kill him. Lin Xian was extremely powerful. The long sword in his hand was wide open and closed. The Taiji diagram rotated and released a terrifying yin-yang sword chi, completely killing the 4 of them. No, the 4 of them only let out an unwilling roar, and their souls were destroyed. The heavenly path golden lotuses on these people, including their storage rings, were all broken by Lin Xian. The energy was absorbed by him. The aura on his body erupted again and rose, and he spat out another mouthful of blood. This scene made the corners of everyone's mouths twitch. Damn it! They now felt that Lin Xian spat out blood on purpose. Because the more blood he spat out, the more terrifying the other party's aura became. Chapter 3984. Until now, all the people who had tried to assassinate Lin Xian were dead. Of course, except for one person. That was the 9-headed Qilin. The 9-headed Qilin was scared out of his wits at this moment. He thought that this was the best opportunity to kill the other party, but he didn't expect that he would be able to turn the other party around. He couldn't fight anymore. He took on Morong Qingqing's attack head-on and then quickly fled. Lin Xian wouldn't let the other party escape. He turned into a flying sword and instantly caught up with the other party. An earth-shattering battle broke out between the two. How could the 9-headed Qilin be a match for Lin Xian? So in the end, he was killed again and his corpse quickly fled. At this point, he had lost another life, leaving him with only 6. However, to everyone's horror, Lin Xian didn't stop at all and continued to attack with his sword. Oh no, could it be that Lin Wudi wanted to completely kill the 9-headed Qilin today? The 9-headed Qilin had just revived and was scared out of his wits when he saw this scene. He almost fainted from anger. His original plan was to die once in the worst-case scenario. But now it seemed that the other party didn't just want him to die once. Run quickly, he fled frantically to the 8th district without stopping, all the way to the 7th district. He wanted to seek protection. Yuquan was in the 7th district, so the other party definitely wouldn't dare to come. Lin Xian wanted to chase after the 9-headed Qilin, but he didn't expect that someone would appear in the 9th district again. As soon as this person appeared, countless people screamed. This was an unusually handsome man. He had short hair, a cold face, and his gaze was like a divine sword. He was wearing a Taoist robe with countless sword patterns drawn on it. It was very mysterious. There was a long sword hanging on his waist. It was a blue long sword, as bright and dazzling as the starry sky. Jinshin, the chief disciple of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. Many people cried out in surprise. This was an extremely powerful genius. Among the chief disciples, he could definitely be ranked in the top 3. Some people even placed him at the top of the list, because they felt that no chief disciple could beat him. Did they come to the 9th zone to target Lin Wuti? That's for sure. What else? Lin Wuti had killed many sword saints of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. Everyone gulped. However, there were also people who screamed, "That's not right. Wasn't Jin Shun in the 4th region? He came to the 9th zone? It spanned across 4 major regions. He had over 40 chains of great Tao on him. If they were to fight, they would be at a disadvantage." These people were exaggerating too much. 10 chains were enough to make them unable to breathe, not to mention 40 to 50 chains. Most likely, his strength would be greatly reduced. The Crimson Dragon, Toad, and the others also sneered. Would the other party dare to behave atrociously? However, Li Hongxiu frowned. Murong Qingqing also said that he did not have 4 great Tao chains on him. What was going on? The others were also stunned. Fighting across realms would definitely be suppressed by the great Tao. A bunch of idiots. Who told you that you would definitely be suppressed? Did you not go to the Bronze Gate? Do you think I'm the same as you? I have magic treasures on me. At this point, the corners of his mouth curled up into a smile. That was indeed the case. He did have a magic treasure on him. He had spent 8 heavenly Tao golden lotuses. He had exchanged it in the Bronze Gate. It was a battle robe that could offset the suppression brought by the great Tao chains. That was why he dared to cross the 4 major regions at this moment. Today, he was going to completely get rid of Lin Wuti. He looked down. "Kid, you dare to kill so many sword saints of my sect. Today, I will definitely not let you leave alive." At this point, he pulled out the Starry Sky sword at his waist. The Starry Sky was like fire. Resplendent sword light swept across the world, extremely dazzling. The people in the 9th zone frantically retreated. They knew that a shocking battle was about to break out. The people from the other regions also turned their heads to look at them. Whether it was Jin Xin or Lin Xian, they were both chief disciples. Moreover, they were ranked in the top 3 among the chief disciples. Now that the 2 of them were fighting, they would probably be able to tell who was stronger. Who was the number 1 chief disciple? This was a fierce battle. Everyone was looking forward to it. Lin Xin stopped. Originally, he was going to chase after the 9 Qilins. However, the other party had come. He turned his head to look at the figure in the sky. Jin Shun, someone from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. Are you here to challenge me? In that case, you should be prepared to be killed. Lin Xian's eyes erupted with sonorous killing intent. Useless kid. Although you are strong, you are still no match for me. Jin Xian stepped in the air with incomparable calmness. The Starry Sky turned into sword qi and accompanied him. As long as he gave the order, these sword qi would mercilessly fall. Every strike of the sword could easily penetrate a 5th heaven sage. Lin Xian stomped his foot and faced the attack. The light in his eyes became more and more monstrous. The aura on his body became more and more terrifying. At this moment, the heavenly Tao lotus on his body shattered. It turned into countless great Tao laws and merged into his body. Lin Xian looked up to the sky and roared. At the same time, there was a crazy power circulating in his body. The sky above the 9th area instantly darkened. Countless dark clouds condensed, and a bolt of lightning struck down from the sky. There was a crack. The Starry Sky sword qi in the sky was sent flying. A huge black hole appeared. Lightning? Didn't this Lin Wuti want to compete in sword skills? Was he also a thunder saint? Many people's brains were a little numb. Lei Zhen's pupils shrank. He was still in the 1st area, and the previous incident had frightened him. Now, what happened frightened him even more. The other party was about to break through. Everyone was dumbfounded. Was he finally going to break through? Lin Wuti chose to break through at this time? What did he want to do? Sure enough, after the first thunderbolt, the second and third, the thunderbolts poured down from the sky. The sword chi in the sky was completely shattered. Those thunderbolts enveloped Lin Xian and Jian Chun at the same time. Damn it! You dare to trick me! Jian Chun roared. Did the other party want to use the thunder tribulation to deal with him? I'm not afraid of a mere thunderbolt. So what if you break through? You are still no match for me. Jian Shen was also an expert in the late 5th level. His strength was unparalleled. However, he regretted it as soon as he made his move. The thunderbolts seemed to be angered and became more and more terrifying. Even all the dark clouds on the entire Tianming planet gathered above his head. The terrifying thunderbolts were incomparably mighty, completely engulfing the two of them. Miserable screams were heard, making one's scalp tingle. The people in the 9th area had long fled. They either fled to the 1st area or the 8th area. Even if they were carrying the Great Dao chains, they didn't dare to stay in the same place. That area had completely sunk. Chapter 3985. The toad's eyelids twitched wildly. Damn, this kid was too terrifying. This lightning tribulation could kill people. Murong Qingsheng was also a little worried. She also heard Lin Xian's screams. However, the Crimson Dragon was a little suspicious. This kid's screams were very strange. Why did it feel like he was laughing? Indeed, Lin Xian was also screaming, but it was because he was comfortable. Although the lightning had smashed his body into a bloody mess, she felt that he was undergoing a transformation. This time, he had swallowed a large number of heavenly Dao golden lotuses. In addition, he had fought all the way. Finally, he had accumulated a lot. At this moment, all of his strength had erupted. Not far away from him was Jian Chun. Cracks had also appeared on the other party's body. Many places were charred black, and his flesh was badly mutilated. Damn it! Jian Chen's eyes were incomparably red as he stared at Lin Xian. He held the starry sky sword and charged over. However, just as he approached Lin Xian, he spat out blood and flew backward. The lightning around Lin Xian became even more violent. Even he couldn't resist it. Go! He knew that he would be an idiot if he stayed here now. He quickly retreated. Do you want to leave? Didn't you want to fight me to the death? Come on. I'll give you a handicap of 1 hand. I'll give you a handicap of 100 moves. Lin Xian rode the lightning tribulation and quickly flew forward. Damn it, get lost. Stay away from me. Jian Chun was scared out of his wits. As soon as he got close to him, the lightning tribulation increased. Just like that, he fled all the way. How could Lin Xian let him go? It trapped him tightly. No matter how strong Jian Chan was, under such a terrifying heavenly tribulation, his skin and flesh were also split open. His body had exploded several times. He was about to be killed. Senior brother, save me. Jian Chun sent out a cry for help. Between heaven and earth, a sword chi split open the sea of lightning. This was Wanjiani. It was a strike from an endless area. Using this crack, Jian Chen escaped. The surrounding people were terrified. Although Jian Chen escaped, everyone knew that the other party had lost, and he was seriously injured. If it wasn't for Wanjiani making a move, the other party would have died without a doubt. Humph! Lin Xian snorted coldly and ignored Jian Chun. Instead, he turned his gaze to the 7th region. He soared into the air and charged over. Not good. The great demon king is here. Run! The people in the 8th region screamed in fright and fled. However, as soon as they escaped, they realized that Lin Xian didn't stay in the 8th area at all. He quickly charged towards the 7th region. This brat wanted to kill 9 Qilins. Everyone understood what was going on. The 9-headed Qilin naturally understood as well. He was horrified and wanted to flee. However, before he could even move, Lin Xian had already charged over. The lightning that filled the sky enveloped him. No, he asked Yu Quan for help. However, at this moment, Right Fist did not have the time to pay attention to him. He was still engaged in a life and death battle with Qin Xiener. Thus, the 9 Qilins were in a very miserable state. His strength was not even as strong as Jian Chen's, so how could he possibly block it? In an instant, he was severely injured. Damn it, He wanted to tear apart the lightning in the sky and escape. However, he was kicked down by Lin Xian. The golden foot was like a huge mountain, causing his arm to crack. Void beast. The nine-headed Qilin roared and dimmed. Lin Xian frowned. Did he want to use his spatial magic to escape? It was useless. He used the heavenly secret divine eyes to the extreme. In the sea of lightning, a pair of golden eyes looked through the 9 heavens and 10 earths. As Lin Xian's strength increased, the future of the heavenly secret divine eyes became even more terrifying. He directly locked onto the 9-headed Qilin. There was no way to escape. He controlled the arena and pierced through countless worlds. Moreover, the great dragon sword soul was released and locked onto all directions. Before the void beast could escape, it was beaten out of its hiding place. The void beast vomited blood, and the 9-headed Qilin was sent flying. The two separated. Lin Xian carried the supreme lightning and directly destroyed the 9-headed Qilin. The 9-headed Qilin's corpse floated up and down and quickly came back to life. However, it was killed again. Twice. The 9-headed Qilin had died twice in the Sea of Lightning. In addition to the previous time, it had died 3 times. He originally only had 7 lives left. Now, he only had 4 lives left. The Void Beast's eyes also turned red. He disregarded everything, even if he was injured. He also wanted to use the power of the Void. In the end, he was seriously injured and left with the 9-headed Qilin. Everyone's hair stood on end. The terrifying 9-headed Qilin was actually beaten to death. He even lost 3 lives. This was an extremely heavy loss. The people in the 7th area also fled. At present, other than Lin Xian, only Qin Xianer and Yu Quan were left. In the end, the two of them even fought to other areas. Only Lin Xian was left. Lin Xian bathed in the divine lightning and resisted with all his strength. After 5 days and 5 nights, the lightning that filled the sky disappeared. Lin Xian walked out. His body was overflowing with light. The injuries that he had suffered previously all disappeared at the last moment. The aura on his body was much stronger than before. At this moment, his cultivation had reached the mid-stage of the 5th level. This kind of cultivation was actually nothing among the saints around, because many of them were at the late stage of the 5th level. But on Lin Xian, it was too difficult. One had to know that he had a divine body and a dragon sword soul. To break through was 10 times, or 100 times, more difficult than other saints. And once he broke through, his power would far surpass those saints. Sure enough, the surrounding people were terrified. Lin Wuti was already so terrifying before he broke through. Now that he had broken through to the mid-stage of the 5th level, who could be his match? Among the chief disciples, there was absolutely no one who could be his match. Even if he met Jinshen, he probably didn't need the lightning tribulation. The other party could defeat Jinshen. Some of the experts of the sacred city were terrified. Who could stop the rise of the other party? Damn it! In the distance, Jinshen's injuries had already recovered, but the wound in his heart would never be healed. The other party dared to use the lightning tribulation to deal with him and successfully broke through. All of this drove her crazy. In the first area, Leijin's hair stood on end. This person was too terrifying. Fortunately, he didn't make a move before. However, he felt a sense of powerlessness. The other party had broken through to this point. Was he still a match for the other party? That's great. The Toad, and Hong, and the others exclaimed. Murong Qingsheng and the others also smiled. The risk from before was worth it. The current Lin Xian should be the strongest person below the pilgrim list. Boom, boom. At this moment, earth-shattering roars came from the 6th area. 2 figures flew out at the same time. Between heaven and earth, there was saint blood floating. Was there a result? Everyone's eyes were attracted. Even the few geniuses on the pilgrim list turned their heads to look. They saw that Yu Quan was covered in blood and his face was pale. It was obvious that he had been severely injured before. Especially his soul. He had probably received a powerful attack from the Hahuan Bell. On the other side, Qin Xianer was also covered in blood. She was originally wearing a long blue dress embroidered with countless great das. But at this moment, there was bright red blood standing on it, which was abnormally shocking. However, looking at her condition, she seemed to be better than Yu Quan. In other words, Yu Quan was still defeated by the other party. Damn woman, just you wait. Yu Quan roared. His face was gloomy, and he turned to leave. Chapter 3986. He had indeed lost to her, but he swore. As long as he found a powerful soul defense weapon, he would not be afraid of her. Next time, he would definitely defeat this woman. Then, he would take her as his concubine. After returning to the 7th area, Yu Quan prepared to recuperate. The next step was to seize the Destiny Stone. However, he found that the 7th area was in ruins, as if it had been struck by lightning. There was no one there. There was only one figure standing there. Seeing this figure, Yu Quan was furious. The wounds on his body that had originally healed opened again because of his excitement. Kid, you still dare to come? Go to hell. He was already in a bad mood. At this moment, when he saw Lin Xian, he was naturally furious. He immediately attacked with a terrifying, desolate blade, splitting the sky and splitting the earth. Kid, come back quickly. The dark divine dragon roared. Murong Qingqing also said, Brother Xian, don't fight him head-on. They were all very worried. The surrounding people were also stunned. Wasn't this Lin Wudi too excited? Facing Yu Quan, he didn't want to escape. What did he want to do? One had to know that last time, Yu Quan's casual attack was something that Lin Xian couldn't block at all. Not to mention now, he attacked in a rage. He estimated that within 3 moves, he would be able to kill Lin Wudi. Lin Wudi had just broken through and became the #1 chief disciple. Was he going to be killed? Some people felt that the sky was about to collapse. If that was really the case, then it would be a big joke. It would be best to kill him. Jian Shan watched the battle from afar, gritting his teeth. Lin Xian's figure flashed and dodged the 3 blades. Then, he floated in the void and didn't escape. Instead, he stared at the figure in front of him with interest. At this moment, Yu Quan's face was pale, but his eyes were blood red. Many cracks appeared on his armor. Some of them could be seen through the cracks, and even some of his internal organs. These were all torn apart by the sound wave attack of the joyous bell. Moreover, Lin Xian could feel that not only was his body injured, but his soul was also weak. This was a good opportunity for him to make a move. It just so happens that I'll use you to test my strength after breaking through. Lin Xian was excited and eager to give it a try. You dare to provoke me? Yu Quan smiled. The cracks on his body were rapidly being healed by the aura of the Great Desolation. Brat, do you think you can provoke me just because I'm injured? You're too naive. A giant dragon was a giant dragon. Even if it was injured, it was not something that an ant could provoke. Yu Quan's eyes were filled with disdain. Previously, he was able to injure the other party with a single slap. Now, even if the other party's cultivation had broken through, so what? He was only at the mid-stage of the 5th heavenly layer. He could wipe out a group of such people with a wave of his hand. Lin Xian made the first move. He unleashed a terrifying sword light that slashed forward in an overwhelming manner. The people around him were terrified. They had never imagined that Lin Xian would dare to take the initiative to attack. Yu Quan was infuriated. If you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. Truth be told, other than those who were not on the pilgrim list, he did not bother to make a move. Even if the other party was the #1 chief disciple, he didn't think highly of him. But now, this little ant had truly angered him. Therefore, he decided that even if he would lose some face, he would still kill the other party. Boom! He broke through the void, and his speed was as fast as lightning as he charged over. With one punch, the terrifying Baron Fist sent all of the flaming sword chi flying. At the same time, he quickly charged over. Go to hell. His fist turned into a palm, and he grabbed at Lin Xian. Lin Xian also waved his palm to contend with it. The large golden palm was like fire in the sky. The two collided, and the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. After that, Lin Xian retreated, stepping on the void. His chi and blood were surging, but his eyes were filled with excitement. The people around him were all stunned. Lin Wudi actually blocked it. It was too unbelievable. Can he contend with those on the pilgrim list after breaking through once? Interesting. I hope you won't disappoint me. Lin Xian's eyes shone brightly. He shook his numb arm, and the power in his body began to circulate again. On the opposite side, Yu Quan's expression became a little ugly. Lin Xian blocked it. This was not what he had expected. In his imagination, this attack would be able to smash the other party into pieces. However, he did not expect that he would only be able to repel the other party. The other party was not even injured. This made him feel like his face was burning. That was a feeling of humiliation. Go to hell. A blade of desolation appeared in his hand, and he slashed down crazily. Lin Xian roared and quickly dodged. Then, the great sun sword turned into countless sun sword chi. The sword and saber collided, and a sonorous sound swept across the 9 heavens. Countless cracks accompanied it. The scene of the two fighting was terrifying. The surrounding saints were all stunned. Lin Wudi could really contend with the prodigies on the pilgrim list. However, the other people on the pilgrim list frowned. Those followers were also dumbfounded. It couldn't be, right? They looked as if they had seen a ghost. Is this kid already so heaven-defying? Humph. Emotio snorted coldly, making a fuss over nothing. It was just that Yu Quan was seriously injured. Otherwise, would this kid have the right to be so arrogant? Indeed, many people saw it, even though Yu Quan was using the power of desolation to heal his wounds. There were still some wounds that could not be healed in a short period of time. Moreover, as the fierce battle continued, those wounds split open again and blood flowed out. However, the seriously injured Yu Quan was not someone that anyone could resist. Even Jian Shun and the others had no confidence at all, and they could not block him at all. Lin Xian was able to fight evenly. This undoubtedly showed that Lin Xian's strength had long surpassed that of the chief disciple. Yu Quan roared. The aura of desolation on his body continued to spread. After hundreds of moves, he could not kill an ant? That made him lose all his face. Go to hell. He struck out a desolate mountain, and a terrifying aura surged. It enveloped a part of the sky. Wherever it passed, it turned into ashes. Nothing could resist it. Lin Xian's pupils constricted. He felt a great sense of danger. It should be the top secret technique of the great desolate mansion. He did not dare to be careless. In an instant, he used Tai Chi. He waved his hands and struck out a Tai Chi diagram, which spun in front of him. The power of yin and yang erupted along with the Tai Chi diagram. Buzz, buzz. The Tai Chi diagram faced off against the desolate mountain. It directly blocked the aura of desolation. The aura of yin and yang filled the air, and it was abnormally terrifying. He pulled out the great spear of destruction, used it as an axe, and slashed down from the sky. It carried the law of death and the law of sword. With a bang, it crossed the heavy sky and smashed into Yu Quan's body. Yu Quan was instantly sent flying. His battle armor, which had already cracked, was now even more shattered. He spat out a mouthful of blood and almost fainted. Roar! Yu Quan roared, and the desolation scripture in his body circulated crazily. He let out a beast-like roar. The palm of desolation. He struck out an extremely terrifying palm of desolation that blotted out the sky and covered the earth. Lin Xian quickly dodged. At the same time, he waved the great spear of destruction. All kinds of terrifying sword chi rushed out. Between heaven and earth, a terrifying collision sound rang out. Everyone was shocked. Chapter 3987. Yu Quan was completely enraged. He soared into the sky like a human-shaped Tyrannosaurus Rex as he fought Lin Xian in close combat. Lin Xian was still not afraid. His divine body was not afraid of close combat, so the battle between the two was very shocking. No way. This Lin Wudi is heaven-defying. Can he really fight against Yu Quan? Why do I feel like he's going to suppress Yu Quan now? The surrounding saints whispered, and some of the followers were even more terrified. They felt that it was hard to imagine. All along, the people on the pilgrim list had been godlike existences. But now, someone was going to go against the heavens and kill the gods. Some people even said, "Young master, will Yu Quan really be defeated?" If that was the case, then it would be a big joke. Emotio, who was surrounded by Huang Quan, held the devil trident with an unusually cold expression. Damn it, this Yuquan won't fail miserably, right? In this way, not only would he be defeated, everyone on the pilgrim list would lose face. In the third zone, Wan Jiani carried a peerless divine sword with a solemn expression. What a piece of trash. He couldn't even beat an ant. Chao Tianxing had his hands behind his back, wearing a ghost-like mask. He didn't say anything. On the other side, Qin Xiener, who was charming all living beings, was swallowing pills. At the side, they were interested in watching this battle. Yuquan was completely enraged. He also knew that whether it was his allies, followers, or enemies, they were all paying attention to him. At this moment, they were all paying attention to him. He absolutely could not lose. With a roar, the laws all over his body spread out. The terrifying aura of desolation formed a sacred domain that enveloped Lin Xian. Those laws formed one desolate blade after another in the sacred domain. With a shocking aura, they rampaged between heaven and earth. Lin Xian fought with all his strength. The two exchanged blows, and the sky fell and the earth cracked. Terrifying laws intertwined between heaven and earth, and a terrifying roar filled the seventh zone. After another 100 moves, the two separated and confronted each other. There were some wounds on Lin Xian's body, which were caused by the other party's desolate aura. Yuquan was also not feeling good. He was already injured, and now the wounds on his body were even more terrifying. Some of the wounds that had already healed split open once again. They specifically attacked his wounds, worsening his injuries. In the seventh region, the entire space was completely shattered. Not a single place was intact. When the people in the other regions saw this, they were terrified. Lin Wudi was too strong. He could really compete with Yuquan. That was a genius ranked on the pilgrim roll. How powerful was that? Many people couldn't believe it. Yuquan was so angry that his whole body trembled, and a terrifying light flickered in his eyes. Behind him, the aura of desolation combined with the laws to form a mysterious pattern. It was a vast mountain range that formed a valley. There was a blurry figure in the valley, and no one could see clearly what it was. However, just the aura that was emanating from it was enough to send chills down the spines of all the elite geniuses and powerful beings of the older generation. Lin Xian coldly snorted. Although he was injured, he did not care. Now, he had a rough idea of how strong his battle prowess was. Dealing with the current Yuquan would not be a problem. Furthermore, he still had many trump cards that he had yet to use. This breakthrough had indeed caused his strength to undergo an earth-shattering change. I underestimated you. I didn't expect an ant to be able to compete with me. On the opposite side, Yuquan spoke. His eyes became more and more piercing. However, the battle could end now. You can be proud that you made me attack with my full strength even if you die. Before he finished speaking, he made his move. Carrying the mysterious illusion and the valley, he soared through the air and directly charged in front of Lin Xian. The void in front of him kept shattering. It was obvious that Yuquan was really angry. On the other side, Lin Xian also moved as if he had transformed into a true dragon. His entire body was blooming with terrifying sword light. At this moment, he also attacked with all his strength. Buzz, buzz. Terrifying sword chi and many kinds of laws spread between heaven and earth. The void in front of him kept shattering. Boom. The two collided again, and a world-destroying battle broke out. It seemed that both of them wanted to finish off each other in this battle. The great spear of destruction in Lin Xian's hand kept attacking. It seemed to have turned into a peerless divine sword, quickly attacking Yuquan's cracked wounds. He wanted to completely split Yuquan's body apart. However, Yuquan was still very strong. Although he was seriously injured, he was still extremely terrifying. His body kept swaying, avoiding those wounds. He tried his best to block the sword chi. Buzz. At the same time, a few cracks appeared on Lin Xian's body. Those were the marks of his opponent's gaze. Moreover, what made his hair stand on end was that behind his opponent, a ray of light suddenly flew out of the mysterious valley. His bones were exposed from his shoulders. It was so terrifying. Lin Xian felt his hair stand on end. It seemed that he had to be extremely careful. There might be even more terrifying methods in the mysterious valley. Lin Xian attacked with all his strength. He used the law of sword to the extreme. The great spear of destruction was like a black dragon being waved by him. He attacked aggressively. His opponent's desolate aura trembled continuously. At the same time, Lin Xian used his fists and legs to fight in close combat. He was very confident in his physique. Therefore, he was not afraid at all when his opponent dared to fight him in close combat. Buzz. After exchanging another 30 moves, Lin Xian's eyes suddenly shone with a golden light. He activated a terrifying eye technique. It turned into countless golden light blades and stabbed at his opponent. His opponent had been attacked by his soul before. Now that he attacked unexpectedly, his opponent's soul was severely injured again. Sure enough, Yu Quan did not expect Lin Xian's eye technique to be so powerful. His body trembled, and his soul felt like it was about to split open. His movements had also slowed down, revealing an opening. It was a good opportunity. Lin Xian's eyes burst out with a cold light. He held the great spear of destruction with both hands. The law of sword condensed on it, and a dragon's roar sounded. It formed a dragon shadow that coiled around the black spear. Buzz. He slashed forward with his sword. He attacked the crack on his opponent's abdomen. Before that crack, his opponent's internal organs had already been exposed. Now, he was attacking with all his strength, trying to cut his opponent in half. Buzz. That terrifying aura caused Yu Quan's body to tremble. Damn it, his expression changed drastically. If it was hit by this attack, it might really be split in half. How dare you? He retreated frantically, enduring the pain in his soul. He attacked forcefully. The long spear of desolation kept slamming down, forming countless defenses in front of him. Boom, boom. Earth-shattering collisions sounded. The people in the other areas were all paralyzed on the ground. Their minds were blank, and in front of their eyes, it was incomparably bright. The light and the law of the two completely drowned the front. Not good. Some of the top experts' eyes were bright. They saw the battle inside through the law. What had happened? The others also became nervous. What was it that could make these people so shocked? Soon, they also saw the scene in front of them through the cracks of the law. Then, they were all terrified. Chapter 3988. Yu Quan was sent flying, and more blood flowed out of his body. The wound on his opponent's body became even more terrifying, and it seemed that he was about to be cut in half. Only some skin on the side was still connected. The sword strike just now had seriously injured Yu Quan again. Yu Quan let out a miserable cry, and the people around him felt their scalps go numb. They couldn't believe it. Even the few people on the pilgrim roll were surprised. This battle was also beyond their expectations. Die, kid! Yu Quan roared and rushed over again. Behind him, a figure appeared in the mysterious valley. The figure was abnormally hazy, but it could be seen clearly. Although the figure was blurry, he was bound by 8 chains that firmly locked him in the valley. What is it? Many people felt their scalps go numb. Even Wan Jiani and the others frowned. The Great Desolation technique of the Great Desolation Mansion was too terrifying. The Finger of Desolation. The figure bound by the mysterious chains stretched out a finger and charged toward Lin Xian. Lin Xian's pupils shrank. He could feel the immense murderous intent. This attack was truly too terrifying. It seemed that Yu Quan was really going all out. With a roar, he took out the great dragon sword soul and slashed forward. Boom, boom, boom. The two of them exploded with unparalleled power. Both of them were sent flying, and many cracks appeared on Lin Xian's body. His divine body was also shattered at this moment. From this, one could imagine how frightening that mysterious figure was. However, Yu Quan was in an even worse state. This time, he was really cut in half. Not only that, but many sword wounds also appeared on his broken body. The densely packed wounds were a shocking sight. This attack had seriously injured both of them. No way. Everyone gasped. Yu Quan was really cut in half by the opponent's sword. At this moment, Yu Quan was covered in blood and looked extremely miserable. His face became extremely ferocious. Damn it, this is really too despicable. He didn't even suffer such serious injuries when fighting Qin Xianer. Now, he was seriously injured by an ant. It was driving him crazy. Lin Xin's body was also covered in blood, but he laughed and laughed proudly. Geniuses on the pilgrim ranking were nothing more than that, and he was still able to injure them. What is that sword shadow on your body? On the other side, Yu Quan's expression was terrifying as he stared at the dragon-shaped sword shadow. Not to mention him, even Emo Xiao and the others felt their hair stand on end. This brat actually had such a treasure? This was even more so for Wang Jinyi and Jian Chen. Jian Chen's eyes were fiery red. This kind of sword aura was too terrifying. His opponent actually had such a terrifying sword Dao treasure. Wang Jinyi's eyes shone with a terrifying light. He stared at the dragon sword shadow. I could feel the power of the strongest. At this moment, countless sword chi appeared around him as if he was worshipping the sword god. This caused many people to be shocked. 10,000 swords returned to sect. This was the ultimate technique of the 10,000 swords pavilion. With the first of 10,000 swords, it was terrifying to the extreme. Emo Xiao, Qin Xianer, and the other experts on the Holy Pilgrim list were also on high alert. Kid, just you wait. This matter isn't over yet. I will never let you go. If I wasn't injured, you wouldn't have the chance to be so arrogant. Indeed, he was clenching his teeth. If he didn't fight with Qin Xianer, he could definitely kill the other party. Lin Xin coldly snorted. It's useless to say anything now. Today, I will send you on your way. He had a bold idea. The other's eyelids were also twitching. No way. What does this kid want to do? Damn it. Yu Quan was even more furious. The two halves of his body quickly healed. His face was extremely ugly. Brother Wan, please lend me a hand. This kid's treasure is very suitable for you. Yu Quan asked Wang Jinyi for help. Damn this guy. He's too despicable. The Crimson Dragon, the Toad, and the others cursed loudly. Murong Qingxing and the others were also extremely nervous. Wang Jinyi soared into the sky. All right, I'll help you. He actually crossed several regions and came to the 7th region. Lin Xin felt as if he was facing a great enemy. The dragon-shaped sword shadow in his hand became even more dazzling, letting out waves of dragon roars. Kid, you're just taking advantage of the situation. If Yu Quan wasn't injured, you wouldn't have the chance to win. That's right. The fiendish cultivator also flew over, his body wrapped in dozens of chains. However, he was not afraid. Moreover, don't think that you can fight against me just because you injured Yu Quan. To tell you the truth, we are all minor saints. It's just that our cultivation base is suppressed here. If we were in the outside world, we could kill you with just a flick of our fingers. So, in front of us, you don't have the qualifications to be arrogant. Not good. Lin Wudi is in danger. The two experts on the holy list wanted to help Yu Quan. No matter how strong Lin Wudi was, he couldn't resist them. Lin Xin's expression was also solemn. After saying so much, he just wanted to regain his face. How many years have you guys cultivated? I've only cultivated for a few years. I'm just a mid-5th layer saint. I'm indeed proud of defeating you guys. How dare you call yourselves minor saints? If I'm a minor saint, I'll kill the 3 of you with one hand. Facing the pressure of the 3, he was still not afraid. Emo Xiao shouted coldly. He took a step forward, and the yellow springs diagram above his head spun out. It seemed that he wanted to refine Lin Xian. On the other side, Wang Jinyi's body was filled with sword chi. It seems that I need to teach you a good lesson and let you know what fear is. Io, you guys are ganging up to bully a young little brother. You guys are really heroic. I can't stand it anymore. At this moment, a beautiful figure floated over and came to Lin Xian's side. She smiled sweetly. What? You guys really don't care about your status and want to attack someone who is hundreds or even thousands of years younger than you. Qin Xianer, what do you mean? Emo Xiao frowned. This has nothing to do with you. Qin Xianer smiled sweetly, and her charming eyes made the blood of the people around her boil. Even the fiendish cultivator's pupils shrank, as if he was facing a great enemy. Qin Xianer giggled. If it has nothing to do with me, then it has something to do with you? What does this have to do with you? Humph. He killed the chief disciple of my Yellow Springs Hall. Of course, I'll take revenge on him. He killed so many sword saints of my Myriad Swords Pavilion. How can I let him go? I'll bring him back to the Myriad Swords Pavilion and let him use the rest of his life to atone for his sins. You guys are just greedy for treasures. Qin Xianer smiled sweetly. I feel like old friends with this little brother. I want to protect him. Can't I? You can try. Yu Quan also stood out. His broken body had already recovered. His expression was incomparably ferocious. Qin Xianer, your joyous union bell is powerful, but can you fight against the three of us together? Not to mention the three of them. Qin Xianer couldn't even fight against two of them, let alone Wang Jiani. Chapter 3989. Oh, is that so? At this moment, Chao Tiansheng, who had been standing with his hands behind his back and watching the battle in silence, also spoke. His figure flickered, and he also came to the seventh area. He faced Wang Jiani. This scene made Yu Quan and Emoshio's faces turn extremely ugly. Apart from Wang Jiani, who had an unparalleled sword chi, these people were afraid of another person, and that was Chao Tiansheng. Because Chao Tiansheng was too mysterious and didn't make a move easily. However, no one dared to doubt his strength. At this moment, his appearance made Emoshio and Yu Quan feel like they were facing a great enemy. Qin Xianer's smile became even more charming, and she said coquettishly, "What? Can this lineup stop you? Chao Tiansheng, are you going to interfere in this matter? Are you going to protect this kid?" Wang Jiani's voice was biting cold, and the sword intent on his body became even more terrifying, as if it was going to pierce the sky. Chao Tiansheng still stood with his hands behind his back. He was wearing a ferocious mask, and no one could see his expression. However, his eyes were as calm as water. I've long heard that Wang Jiani's sword technique is unparalleled, and I'd like to experience it today. Is that so? Then as you wish. The sword intent on Wang Jiani's body became even more terrifying. Lin Xian felt a huge pressure. The expert's dragon shadow swayed, and countless dragon-shaped sword chi surrounded him. If they really fought, he would be able to contend with Yu Quan, and at least he wouldn't be at a disadvantage. Why is it so lively? Do you want to rank in advance? At this moment, another voice rang out. Then, a figure appeared out of thin air above them. Who was this person? When did he appear? The surrounding saints were all at a loss. They didn't sense it at all before. Even Emoshio and Lu Quan's pupils shrank. Wang Jiani frowned. Gu Feng, do you want to interfere too? Gu Feng, is he the spatial expert on the pilgrim list? Many people screamed. Space was king. The space god art was mysterious and unfathomable, unparalleled. Now that a spatial super expert had appeared, everyone was in an uproar. Lin Xian was also surprised. He looked at Gu Feng. Gu Feng was too strange. He could only see a blurry figure, but he couldn't see his face at all. The reason for that was because the spatial energy he possessed was extremely frightening. Their gazes were completely engulfed by the power of space. Therefore, he was unable to detect the other party's appearance or even the aura of their cultivation. Space was capable of isolating everything. Lin Wudi, interesting. You remind me of someone. Gu Feng's eyes were incomparably dark, like two black holes. He looked down. His voice stunned everyone. What was going on? Did Gu Feng know Lin Wudi? Lin Xian was taken aback as well. Could it really be him? True spirit world, Gu family. Legend had it that there was a divine body. Back then, so many geniuses had appeared. In the end, the divine body did not appear. There were even people who doubted whether he had a divine body or not. But now, Lin Xian felt that it was very possible that it was this person in front of him. He wasn't confident because he had never seen the other party before. However, the other party's words seemed to remind him that there might be some kind of connection between the two of them. This connection was probably because they all came from the true spirit world. Just as everyone was discussing, they suddenly trembled and looked around in bewilderment. What a terrifying murderous aura! What was going on? It seemed like a god of death was about to appear. Lin Xian was also stunned. There was a top assassin. Qin Xianer also stopped smiling. Wuxin, are you here? She asked coquettishly. The crowd was in an uproar again. Wuxin was a super assassin in the mortal world. He was also one of the people on the pilgrim ranking. He had also come. Now, the 7 people on the transcendence ranking were finally all here. However, no one appeared between heaven and earth. That murderous aura came suddenly and disappeared just as quickly. It disappeared without a trace. Everyone even thought that they had been hallucinating. Did that Wu Exine come or not? Because of Lin Xian, so many people on the pilgrim ranking had come to confront each other. It could be said that this was the first time this had happened. However, at this moment, a shocking fluctuation came from the depths of the Destiny planet. Everyone's expression changed. The Destiny Stone was about to open. Humph, I'll spare your life this time. Wan Jinny's figure flickered, and he returned to his own area. Kid, you're very lucky. However, once you're out of the Destiny planet, you're still an ant in front of us. Emotio also soared into the sky. Little brother, return to your own area. It's time to test your destiny. Qin Xianer smiled coquettishly and winked. What a powerful bewitching technique. Lin Xian was shocked. He couldn't help it just now, but fortunately, his soul was also very strong. He recovered in an instant. I understand. Thank you, fairy. Qin Xianer was stunned. One had to know that her charm was something that even Emotio and the others might not be able to completely resist. However, the youth in front of her had recovered in an instant. It really surprised her. It's getting more and more interesting. I hope you won't disappoint me. Qin Xianer smiled coquettishly, then soared into the sky and flew into the distance. Chao Tianqing also left. From the beginning to the end, he didn't even look at Lin Xian. However, Lin Xian still thanked him. If not for Chao Tianqing's arrival, Wan Jinny would have already made his move. Those people returned to their own areas, leaving only Yu Quan in the 7th area. Yu Quan's face was gloomy. Brat, you're so arrogant. Once I recover my true cultivation, I'll show you how I'll kill you. He gritted his teeth. Lin Xian snorted coldly. I'll accompany you anytime. But don't worry, I'll soon make it to the sage rankings. At that time, the first person to challenge me will be you. I'll trample you under my feet and replace you. At this point, Lin Xian laughed loudly and returned to the 9th zone. Damn it. Yu Quan was about to vomit blood. The other party was openly provoking him, but he couldn't fight back. This feeling was really too sullen. In the end, he held back and didn't make a move. This was the most important moment. They had all come to the celestial fate planet to wait for this moment. Sure enough, countless people looked in the direction of the commotion. There was a resplendent light in front of them. It was a scene of immortals. There was a huge stone in front of them. It had 9 caves and was incomparably mysterious. Is that the legendary Destiny Stone? It can test our future destiny. These people were extremely excited. After Lin Xian returned, Murong Qingcheng and the others also heaved a sigh of relief. Then, they looked ahead. Is it finally about to begin? They were also a little nervous. They didn't know what level they would reach in the end. Everyone leaned forward and went up. At this moment, a figure in a green robe appeared beside the Destiny Stone. This person was wearing a bronze mask. Everyone was familiar with him. He was the Bronze Envoy. Chapter 3990. The Bronze Emissary walked out of the Bronze Gate. Could it be that he was going to preside over the test? Sure enough, the Bronze Emissary's voice was unusually calm. His voice spread throughout the surroundings. The test of the Destiny Stone had begun. Who will do it? Let me do it. A figure turned into lightning and instantly rushed forward. He was Lei Jun. At this moment, he couldn't wait any longer. He had to find out what his destiny was. The Bronze Emissary didn't say anything. The others were also curious. They wanted to see what kind of future Lei Jun had. At the same time, they also wanted to know how the Destiny Stone would test his destiny. Lei Jun continued walking forward. He drew a line of blood on his palm and then placed his hand on the Destiny Stone. The blood merged into the Destiny Stone. In the next moment, the light on the Destiny Stone spun and intertwined with the Great Tao. Everyone was nervous and looked forward to it. As for Lei Jun, he was extremely nervous. At this moment, the Destiny Stone changed. The changes intertwined and formed an image. In that illusion, there was a mighty and extraordinary figure. Stepping on thunder, he looked like the thunder god. There were 3 strange flowers above his head. They quickly formed and became more and more colorful. Then, the 3 strange purple flowers disappeared. All kinds of auspicious signs descended between heaven and earth. What was that? Everyone was surprised and didn't understand. They watched carefully and didn't dare to breathe loudly. The auspicious signs of heaven and earth quickly gathered. In the end, there was a shadow of a lotus, but it wasn't solid. It was very faint. Soon, all the illusions disappeared. Lei Jun was also confused. He looked at the bronze emissary and said respectfully, "Senior, please enlighten me." The bronze emissary said indifferently. The 3 strange flowers on his head were the 3 flowers at one's prominence. From that, he was a small saint. The auspicious signs in the sky were auspicious signs from the heavens. From that, he could become a sacred venerate. When he said that, the crowd was in an uproar. In other words, Lei Jun could become a sacred venerate. It was too amazing. Someone said, "Is he only a sacred venerate?" They thought that Lei Jun could become a sacred king. Lei Jun's expression changed drastically. Although becoming a sacred venerate was also a supreme expert, he was unwilling to accept it. His goal was to become a sacred king. "Senior, what is a sacred king?" Lei Jun asked quickly. The bronze emissary said indifferently. The lotus steps was the sacred king's illusion. As soon as these words came out, the crowd was in an uproar again. In the end, all the strange phenomena formed an illusory lotus under Lei Jun's feet. He still hadn't reached the level of lotus blooming step, but he had already surpassed the level of heavenly general auspicious signs. What was going on? The envoy looked at Lei Jun and said in a deep voice, "It won't be a problem for you to become a sacred venerate. However, with your aptitude, it won't be easy for you to become a sage king. If one did not have a heaven-defying opportunity, one would not be able to become a sage king." This news was like a thunderclap. Lei Jun's face turned ugly. Given his talent, he could only become a holy venerate. The blow was too great for him. One had to know that sage king and sage sovereign were only 2 words apart, but their identities were vastly different. A sage king was a supreme existence in the 2nd astral realm. The saint venerables could only kneel before the saint kings. However, the others were extremely envious. Although they couldn't become saint kings, saint venerables were extremely terrifying. That was a supreme expert who could sweep through an entire star field. If they could become one, they would probably wake up laughing in their dreams. I still have a chance. Lei Jun clenched his fists. It wasn't that he couldn't become a sage king, but this path was much more difficult. As long as there was a chance, he wouldn't give up. Lei Jun took a deep breath and cupped his fists. "Thank you, senior." Then, he stepped back. Who would be the next one? Everyone was looking forward to it. To be honest, not everyone had the opportunity and strength to predict the destiny. Some people didn't even have the Tao flower, let alone predict the destiny. Most people came to the Destiny planet to look for treasures and work hard to improve themselves. Only a very small number of people were eager to know their future. And this group of people were those who stood at the pinnacle of existence. "I'll do it." Nine-headed Qilin quickly walked out. He couldn't wait any longer. This time, he had lost so many lives. He wanted a perfect result. He glared fiercely at Lin Xian, then came in front of the Destiny Stone. He bowed respectfully. He cut his palm and placed it on the Destiny Stone. Everyone was nervous and excited again. They didn't know what level Nine-headed Qilin would reach. Soon, the figure of Nine-headed Qilin appeared on the Destiny Stone. 3 flowers appeared above his head, and auspicious signs appeared. It was a sage king. Many people exclaimed. However, it wasn't over. After the auspicious signs appeared, lotus flowers appeared under his feet. Lotus flowers bloomed with every step. Heavens, a sage king. This Nine-headed Qilin had the potential to become a sage king. Everyone screamed. Nine-headed Qilin's lips curled into a smile. Very good. Lei Jun's face turned cold when he saw this. Damn it, he had been defeated by the other party. The bronze envoy also nodded slightly. If there were no accidents, With your talent and potential, you could become a sage king. Thank you, envoy. Nine-headed Qilin bowed respectfully and then walked away proudly. During this time, he glanced at Lin Xian with a hint of provocation. Lin Xian sneered. Wasn't Nine-headed Qilin a sage king? He believed that with his talent, it wouldn't be a problem for him to become a sage king. Next, more experts went up. They were either chief disciples, top prodigies, or elders. Most of these people were holy venerates. There were very few sage kings. One could imagine how difficult it was to become a sage king. However, it made sense. After becoming a sage king, one could open up a sage city and accept 10,000 sages. How glorious was that? As for those above the sage king, no one had appeared. Could someone become a supreme sage? Everyone didn't dare to believe it. There were so many sage cities in the astral realm, but there might not be a supreme sage. Thinking of the supreme sage, Lin Xian and the others thought of La Haishan. This was the remnant soul of a supreme sage. They wondered what Haishan had experienced back then for him to die. At the same time, they were also curious. How was Haishan in the Golden Palace? Was he in danger? Not long after, another scream was heard. It turned out that someone was creating lotus flowers with every step, forming the image of a sage king. This made everyone exclaim. Lin Xian and the others were also surprised. Who was it? This was incredible. Li Hongxiu and the others looked carefully. It was Jianshan. The Crimson Dragon and the others gritted their teeth. Lin Xian also narrowed his eyes. Jianshan, the chief disciple of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion, creating lotus flowers with every step. It seemed that his talent was indeed very strong. Next, the two peerless beauties, Gao Yu and Bai Luo, also went up to take the test. Chapter 3991. Their situation was similar to Lei Zhan's. Auspicious signs descended from the heavens, and an illusory lotus appeared beneath their feet. They had no problem becoming sacred sovereigns. However, to become a sacred king, it was difficult. With their talents, it would be very difficult for them to do so unless they had other great opportunities. The crown prince of the New Moon clan was in the same situation. More people went up. Everyone's gaze shifted to Lin Xian. So far, there were not many people who had the talent of becoming a sacred king. They wondered what Lin Wudi would be like. He should have the talent of becoming a sacred king. That was for sure. He had defeated Jianshan and Nine-headed Qilin. They wondered when he would go up for the test. They were looking forward to it. Some people also said that not only Lin Wudi, but the people around him were also very strong. They all had a high chance of becoming a saint king. Why don't you guys go and try? Lin Xian asked with a smile. I'll go and try. The Northern Devil walked out. He cut his hand and placed it on the Destiny Stone. Soon, a golden lotus appeared beneath his feet. Lotuses bloomed with every step. Oh my God! This person also had the talent to become a sacred king. Who was he? Many people were shocked. This was one of Lin Wudi's companions. The surrounding experts were too shocked. Although they had seen the Northern Devil before, they did not think that he was famous. He was far inferior to Lin Wudi and Li Hongxiu. However, they did not expect that such a person had the talent to become a sacred king. One had to know that only Jianshan, Nine-headed Qilin, and a few others had such talent. Didn't this mean that this young man called the Northern Devil's talent was not inferior to Nine-headed Qilin and the others? Not bad. The Northern Devil smiled when he returned. Lin Xian and the others gave him a thumbs up. He was very talented. The Crimson Dragon said from the side, Kid, don't worry. With your talent and that old man in a black shirt, you can become a sacred king. It's not impossible for you to surpass a sacred king in the future. Indeed. Lin Xian nodded after hearing that. Previously, the Bronze Envoy had said that as long as one had a heaven-defying opportunity, one could break through to the sacred king. Moreover, they knew that the sacred king's prediction was not 100% correct. For example, if one died prematurely, no matter how good one's fate was, it would be useless. I'll try. Li Hongxiu also stepped forward. She was the daughter of the Saint King, and her bloodline was extremely terrifying. Therefore, He was able to achieve the scene of lotuses blooming with every step. As expected, the daughter of a saint king also had the talent to become a saint king. Everyone was extremely envious. Little sister Qingqing, are you not going? Li Hongxiu asked after coming back. Lin Xian also said, Qingqing, go and try it. However, Murong Qingqing shook his head. No, I have the seven-colored phoenix bloodline. If it is revealed, I will be hunted down by the Phoenix clan. That would be bad. Lin Xian nodded. Since that was the case, then forget it. Anyway, Murong Qingqing's talent was definitely not inferior to his. That was a bloodline that even the emperor clans were jealous of. It should not be a problem for him to become a sage king. He even felt that Murong Qingqing could definitely go further. The Crimson Dragon and Toad didn't go either. The bloodline of the Crimson Dragon was also very terrifying among the Dragon clan. Therefore, he didn't want to take the lead. As for Toad, it was even more strange. It was originally a new creature of Tianming, so it didn't need to be tested. Therefore, only Lin Xian was left. However, Lin Xian wasn't in a hurry. He was waiting. He wanted to see what kind of talent the people on the pilgrim list had. Yu Quan snorted coldly and took the lead. Everyone was excited. Oh God, it's Yu Quan. Are the people on the pilgrim list going to be tested? I wonder what kind of talent this group of people will have. These people were incomparably excited. Soon, lotuses rose under Yu Quan's feet. Lotuses blooming with every step. Everyone was envious. Yu Quan wasn't surprised by this. He snorted and walked back. Then, Emoshio also walked up. Lotuses blooming with every step. Qin Xianer charmed all living beings. Lotuses blooming with every step. However, they were all lotus-blooming steps, but there were still differences. Qin Xianer's lotuses were obviously brighter and more numerous than Yu Quan's. Regarding this, Li Hongxiu explained that there were strong and weak saint kings. This meant that Qin Xianer's future achievements would be higher than Yu Quan's. Knowing this result, Yu Quan's face became a little ugly. Damn it, this woman. He didn't expect that he would be defeated by her again. When it was Wan Jinni's turn, everyone screamed. Because Wan Jinni's lotuses were even more terrifying than Qin Xianer's. The sky was full of golden lotuses, flashing non-stop, covering the sky and the earth. Not only that, in the illusion, in addition to lotuses blooming under his feet, there was also a glimmer of light flickering above his head. The light of the Milky Way. A flash of light appeared in the bronze envoy's eyes. He smiled. I didn't expect you to be able to trigger the light of the Milky Way. Although it was only a glimmer, it was very weak. It meant that you had a chance to break through to the great sage realm. As soon as these words came out, everyone was in an uproar. They looked at Wan Jinni with excited expressions. This talent was too heaven-defying. The first one appeared. A person with the ability to break through to the great sage realm had appeared. Even Lin Xian and the others were surprised. The dark red divine dragon sucked in a breath of cold air. This person was incredible. Murong Qingqing, Li Hongxiu, and the others also had solemn expressions. So far, so many top prodigies and peerless powerhouses had been tested, but only Wan Jinni had triggered the light of the Milky Way. Wan Jinni's lips curled into a smile. He clenched his fists, his face full of excitement. A great sage. Even he was excited at this moment. Great, Jinshin was cheering there. The 10,000 Swords Pavilion was about to rise. If a great sage appeared in the 10,000 Swords Pavilion, then they would be able to rule the second astral realm and surpass all the saint cities. As for the other holy cities, they were all extremely shocked. This was an incredible piece of news. It would probably cause a huge storm after the celestial fate star test ended. However, at this moment, the bronze envoy spoke. He said in a deep voice, although you triggered the light of the Milky Way, it was too weak. This doesn't mean that you can completely become a great sage. It's just that you have the possibility. As for whether you can become one, it depends on your luck. Thank you for your advice, Senior. I will remember it in my heart. Wan Jinni cupped his fists and said gratefully. Although it was only a glimmer of possibility, it meant that he had surpassed the others. Because the others didn't even have the slightest chance. Damn it, He actually had the chance to become a great sage. Yu Quan, Emotio, and the others clenched their fists. Their eyes were red. Although they knew that it was as difficult as ascending to the heavens for the other party to become a great sage. After all, there was such a possibility. However, they didn't have it at all. The gap was really too big. If they wanted to stop him, they would have to kill him before he became a great sage. Qin Xiener was also envious. Her beautiful eyes flickered, and no one knew what she was thinking. The others were in an uproar. It seemed that from now on, they would have to befriend the 10,000 Swords Pavilion more. Chapter 3992. Everyone was in an uproar, but there were two people among them who were extremely calm. One of them was Chao Tiansheng, who stood with his hands behind his back and wore a green ghost mask. His expression was calm, as if this was not something to be surprised about. The other was a space-type powerhouse who stood in the void, exuding the power of space all over his body, making it impossible for others to see him clearly. Gu Feng. Although the crowd could not see his face clearly, they could feel his smile. This was too strange. Everyone knew that this was because the other party's use of space power had reached perfection. They could only see what the other party wanted them to see. If he did not want them to see it, even if they broke their heads and used all their secret methods, they would not be able to find anything. The other party was actually smiling. It seemed that the other party also had unlimited confidence. They were looking forward to it. They did not know what this space-type powerhouse would look like. Let me test it. The appearance of the starry river's brilliance completely caused everyone to boil. Even the top assassin hiding in the dark could not hold it in anymore. He finally walked out of the void. This was the top killer saint in the mortal world. As expected, he also came. Many people screamed. This person was Wu Xian. After he walked up, he also took the test. Under his feet, golden lotuses of the great path filled the sky, incomparably dazzling. The scene was better than that of Emotio, Yu Quan, and the others. This made Emotio and Yu Quan's expressions turn ugly, especially Yu Quan, whose teeth were about to shatter. However, the only thing that made people sigh was that there was no starry river's brilliance with every step. This meant that the other party was not fated to become a supreme saint. Impossible. Wu Xian could not accept this fact at all. Was he really not fated to become a supreme saint? Damn it, I don't believe it. What kind of broken stone is this? He actually pulled out a killing sword and slashed it fiercely. No. Damn it, how dare you? Many people screamed. If the Destiny Stone was destroyed, wouldn't that mean that they would not even be qualified to take the test? At this critical moment, the bronze emissary stretched out a finger and gently pointed in front of him. The sword in Wu Xian's hand shattered, and his arm turned into a bloody mist and flew backward. Seeing that it was not easy for you to cultivate, I will spare your life. If you dare to offend me again, your heart and soul will be destroyed. Scram. The bronze emissary shouted coldly. Wu Xian heard this and ran away. The others were shocked beyond words. That was Wu Xin, a top genius on the pilgrim list. But now, in front of the bronze emissary, he couldn't even block a single finger. How strong was the bronze emissary? They didn't know, but it was likely that no one would dare to act impudently in front of him anymore. What a reckless fool. He actually dared to provoke the bronze envoy? Gu Feng shook his head. He stepped forward and cupped his fists at the bronze envoy. Senior, please calm down. That kind of trash was not worth getting angry over. Why don't I use my heavenly fate test to make you happy? After saying that, he walked forward. The surrounding people whispered to each other. This Gu Feng was too confident. That's right. He actually looked down on Wu Xian. He wondered what his destiny would be like. At this moment, countless people were paying attention. Even Lin Xian had a serious expression on his face. Soon, lotuses bloomed at every step. This caused the crowd to exclaim in surprise. This was something that everyone had expected. The strength of this spatial cultivator was unparalleled. However, no one knew if he had the possibility of becoming a great sage. At this moment, even Wang Jiani became nervous. Could Gu Feng's future achievements be on par with his? In the next moment, countless people screamed, "Look, it's the Milky Way splendor." Indeed, the Milky Way splendor appeared under Gu Feng's lead. It was incomparably dazzling, illuminating the sky. This Milky Way splendor was much brighter than Wan Jian's. The talent of a great sage. He had the talent to become a great sage. This Gu Feng's talent was too strong. As expected of a spatial cultivator, screams rang out one after another. At this moment, the surrounding sages were all stunned. Even the people on the pilgrim list were in an uproar. Was it true? Was his talent better than Wan Jian's? Emo Xiao, Yu Quan, and the others clenched their fists tightly. They were about to go crazy with jealousy. Wan Jian's face also turned ugly. Was there someone who surpassed him in talent? Damn it, Gu Feng's future achievements were actually greater than his. The bronze emissary's eyes also burst out with a bright light. He clapped his hands and laughed. Good, good, good. He didn't expect that there would finally be a complete Milky Way splendor. If there were no accidents in the future, it wouldn't be a problem for him to become a great sage. A great sage was in existence above a sage king. There wasn't a single great sage in the entire second astral realm. One could imagine how heaven-defying and terrifying this was. Lin Xian, the Crimson Dragon, and the others gasped. This was a peerless enemy. When he grew up in the future, he would definitely be incomparably terrifying. Wan Jian's eyes burst out with a piercing cold light. This Gu Feng made him feel a sense of fear and danger. He had to get rid of him, and it had to be done in the near future, preferably before he became a sage. Otherwise, this spatial cultivator would be even more terrifying in the future. Even Chao Tianxing revealed a look of surprise this time. His eyes flickered with a mysterious light. No one knew what he was thinking. Space was king. It was indeed a well-deserved reputation. He nodded slightly. The surrounding people exclaimed, and it took a long time before they gradually calmed down. Everyone's gaze turned to Chao Tianxing. There was only one person left on the pilgrim rankings. This Chao Tianxing was incomparably mysterious. No one had even seen his real face. Moreover, he didn't fight often, but every time he did, it was earth-shattering. Previously, he had confronted Wan Jian. Thinking about it, his strength was definitely not inferior to Wan Jian. They wondered how his heaven's will was. Whispers sounded. Everyone was incomparably curious. Even Lin Xian and the others were looking forward to it. However, Chao Tianxing shook his head. I don't need to test my heaven's will. What? Everyone was stunned. He didn't need to test? Even Wan Jian, Gu Feng, and the others were stunned. Yu Quan and the others were even more stunned. They had worked so hard to suppress their cultivation to come to the celestial realm. Wasn't it just to test their heaven's will? But now, there was someone who didn't want to take the test. What kind of joke was this? Then why did he come here? Humph, I think you don't dare. Wan Jian snorted coldly. Previously, the other party dared to confront him, which made him very unhappy. Facing this kind of provocation, Chao Tianxing didn't care. There was no such thing as daring or not. It was just whether he wanted to or not. I said that I don't need to test. I hope that Lord Envoy can forgive me. The Bronze Envoy also revealed a look of surprise. There was actually someone who could resist this kind of temptation. One must know that. The future was so mysterious. If someone could seize the opportunity first, it would be much more convenient in the future. It could be said that one step ahead and every step ahead. However, there was actually someone who didn't want this opportunity. It really surprised him. Chapter 39-93. Lin Xian and the others also frowned. This Chao Tianxing was incredible. He must have a huge secret. The Crimson Dragon said. Murong Qingqing too. His eyes flickered. Perhaps he has the same bloodline as us. Indeed, the Crimson Dragon, Murong Qingqing, and the others did not participate in the test, because they had shocking bloodlines. Once it was exposed, it would cause unnecessary trouble. Perhaps it would even cause the imperial clans to hunt them down. Chao Tianxing was unpredictable. Perhaps he had the same worry, but no one knew what it was exactly. Interesting. They couldn't see through him. Gu Feng was also very surprised. He felt that the other party was even more mysterious than him. It seemed that he would be a difficult opponent in the future. Chao Tianxing gave up. This surprised everyone. However, the test still had to be carried out. Soon, someone went up to take the test again. It was their destiny. Most of them were followers of the pilgrim role. These people were called followers, but their strength was also abnormally strong. They were not weaker than the chief disciples. In fact, they were even stronger. Therefore, these people were very talented. Many of them had the hope of becoming sacred venerables. The saints in the other areas also came up to take the test. After all, as long as they went up and pressed their blood and palm on it, they would be able to see the future. This made everyone tempted. However, the next best was only a sacred venerable. The sacred king never appeared again. Everyone knew that if it was not the top chief disciples or the people on the pilgrim roll, it was impossible for others to become a sacred king, not to mention a great sage. So far, there were only 2 people. To be exact, there was only one. Wang Jini only had hope. As for whether he would succeed in the future, no one knew. I'll go and try. Lin Xian looked for a long time. He took a deep breath and walked forward. As soon as he walked out, everyone stopped talking. The entire place was silent. Planet Tianming was terrifyingly quiet. Was Lin Wudi going to take the test? Could he finally not hold it in anymore? I thought he was going to give up too. Exclamations sounded. At this moment, it could be said that he was the center of attention. Lei Zhun, the 9 Qilins, Prince Da, and the others clenched their fists. This was their lifelong enemy. Yu Quan and the others also had ice-cold looks on their faces. Although the other side's cultivation was inferior to theirs, they were still quite powerful. However, his strength had already shocked them. In the future, he would be a strong opponent for the pilgrim rankings. He could be said to be a potential enemy. The fate of such a person was what they were most concerned about. If it was super strong, they would find a way to kill it in the cradle. Northern Monster and the others were nervous as well. With this kid's talent and physique, it shouldn't be a problem for him to become a Saint King, right? He wondered if he could become a great saint. They were also nervous and expectant. Under the gazes of the crowd, Lin Xian walked forward. Lin Xian first bowed to the bronze emissary before cutting his finger and pressing it forward. The bronze emissary also nodded slightly. His memory of the young man in front of him was still fresh. He remembered that the other party had even broken a world record. Such a person's talent and future were destined to be good. Perhaps Su could give her an unexpected surprise. Come, let me see what kind of heaven's mandate you can reach. Gu Feng crossed his arms. The spatial energy in his body was becoming more and more mysterious. On the other side, Mr. Chao also had his hands behind his back. This time, his expression was solemn. Lin Xian's blood fused into the Heaven's Mandate Stone. The Heaven's Mandate Stone shone brightly as the great Tao intertwined. 3 flowers gathered above, auspicious signs descended from the heavens, and lotuses bloomed with every step. Soon, various phenomena appeared around Lin Xian, causing countless people to exclaim. Lotuses bloomed with every step. This kid really had the talent to become a Saint King. That was for sure. If he couldn't become a Saint King, the others probably wouldn't have any hope. After all, Lin Xian was now known as the #1 chief disciple. Did he have the opportunity to become a great saint? These people were all nervous. Even people as strong as Jian Chun and the 9 Qilins didn't have such a possibility. Even many of the experts on the pilgrim roll didn't have it. There were only 2 people. One was Gu Feng, and the other was Wang Jini. Gu Feng was sure that Wang Jini only had a slight chance. It could be said that he only had 1.5 chances. Could Lin Xian break the legend that Gu Feng had created? To be honest, even Lin Xian was nervous. Gradually, light gathered above his head and then burst out. It was the galaxy splendor. Countless people screamed. At this moment, all the saints on planet Tianming were shocked. This kid had really condensed it. The galaxy splendor. That's great. The Crimson Dragon and the others screamed. I knew that this kid definitely had the ability to become a great saint. Murong Qingqing also breathed a sigh of relief. It was rumored that when the nine-yang divine body was cultivated to greater mastery, it wouldn't be a problem to become a great saint. Now it seemed that it was true. Even Li Hongxia was stunned. Wow, this kid actually had such a heaven-defying destiny. The toad jumped up in shock. Am I seeing things? It was so rare for a great saint to appear. Everyone knew that. Now, Lin Xian also had such a possibility. Moreover, the galaxy's splendor was comparable to Gu Feng's, completely surpassing Wan Jian's. In other words, if he didn't die, there would be no problem for him to become a great saint. Everyone was shocked by this scene. Damn it, how could it be like this? Lei Zhan, the nine Qilins, the eldest prince, and the others gritted their teeth. Their eyes were red, and they were about to faint. In the past, they had never put the other party in their eyes. But now, the other party had already surpassed them. In the future, he would also ruthlessly trample them under his feet. This really frightened them. Gao Yu, Bai Luo, and the others exclaimed in shock. On the other side, Yu Quan gritted his teeth. Great saint. The other party's future was better than his, and it was much better than his. Emotio was the same. He was simply going crazy with jealousy. This kid was really too surprising. Jin Shan was also shocked. He didn't dare to believe it. Wan Jinny's face was cold, and his eyes were murderous. Was the other party's talent better than his? Damn it, he didn't believe it. Beside him, Jinshin said, Senior brother, don't worry. The future is limitless. If he dies early, he won't have a chance to become a great saint. Senior brother, it's not convenient for you to make a move. When we leave planet Tianming, I'll make arrangements. I'll make sure that he can't even become a small saint. These people had the intention to kill. In fact, not only Jin Shun and the Myriad Sword Pavilion, but the other saint cities also had the intention to kill. The reason for that was because Lin Xian had made too many enemies in the past. If such a person became a great saint in the future, then who in the two-star realm would be his match? Interesting. Chao Tianxing's eyes flickered. It was obvious that he was very interested in Lin Xian. The bronze emissary also clapped and laughed. Good, good, good. It was simply heaven-defying to have a great saint. But now, there were two. It really made him happy. It seemed that this generation was even more terrifying than before. Chapter 3994. On the other side, the smile on Gu Feng's face disappeared. To be honest, he was looking forward to seeing what kind of future the other party would have. However, when he saw it, he felt a little uncomfortable. The other party had the same qualifications as him, a supreme saint. This made him extremely unhappy. He was the king of spatial divine powers. How could the other party compare to him? Humph. He snorted coldly, and his face darkened. A supreme saint? Lin Xian's eyes flickered. Although he was very excited, this was not what he wanted. He wanted more. Just when the others thought that it was about to end, the situation changed again. This time, everyone was stunned. Even the bronze emissary was dumbfounded. He could not believe it. His jaw was about to drop. The brilliance of the galaxy in the sky kept flickering, and then it formed one star after another. It turned into a starry universe and matured above Lin Xian's head. What kind of scene was this? It was too terrifying. Everyone was stunned. This was impossible. Gu Feng also screamed, and Wan Jinny's eyes were filled with killing intent. He could not help but want to attack now. This kid had to be at the peak of the Supreme Saints. The Crimson Dragon and Murong Qingsheng were also shocked. However, this was not the end. The starry universe above his head actually hung down and enveloped Lin Xian. Finally, it crawled under Lin Xian's feet. This scene was too terrifying. Stepping on the galaxy? Was this still the brilliance of the galaxy? Everyone looked over and found that the changes continued. Lin Xian's figure appeared in the stars under his feet and in the endless starry world. He was like a god, accepting the worship of all the worlds in the heavens. At this moment, the bronze messenger was terrified. He took 3 steps back and screamed in horror. Illuminating the heavens. You can actually reach the level of illuminating the heavens? Impossible. The others were also stunned. They had never seen this scene before. At this moment, when they heard the bronze messenger scream and tremble, they were even more shocked. Illuminating the heavens. What was that? One had to know that different destinies had different titles. For example, the auspicious sign of the heavens was a saint. Lotus blooming with every step was a saint king. The splendor of the Milky Way was a great sage. However, at this moment, a new term had appeared, heaven illuminating. Could it be above the great sage realm? These people had such a thought. Then, they all shook their heads frantically. They were all stunned. That's impossible. Wasn't the existence above the great sage a legendary existence? Did anyone really have that kind of aptitude? This was simply too heaven-defying. Above the great sage, there was no need to mention the great emperor. Since ancient times, every martial monarch had been a supreme existence that had shaken both the past and the present. Such a person had not appeared for tens of thousands of years. Furthermore, their greatest goal in life was to become the legendary great emperor. They also walked the path of the primeval emperors, but in their hearts, they knew very well that the primeval emperors were the strongest. This was just a beautiful dream that no one could achieve. Right now, even becoming a great sage was an extravagant hope, let alone becoming an existence above the great sage. But now, someone had actually obtained that talent? It can't be. This brat, TTTD. He was so shocked that he couldn't speak. The Crimson Dragon was also dumbfounded. Murong Qingqing exclaimed, "That's great. Brother Xian's future is too good." Li Hongxiu, who was next to him, was also stunned. She had never seen such a scene before. Not only them, but Wan Jiani, Gu Feng, and the others were also dumbfounded. Chao Tianxing's eyes burst out with a terrifying light. At this moment, he seemed to have been resurrected as he stared at Lin Xian. Impossible. Everyone was roaring. They couldn't accept it at all. They didn't dare to imagine it. Get rid of this brat. We must get rid of him. Wan Jiani, Yu Quan, and Mo Xiu, and the others were filled with killing intent. They swore that they wouldn't wait a second after leaving the heavenly fate planet. They had to work together to get rid of him. They would never allow such a person to exist. At the same time, the bronze messenger was also stunned. He had never seen such a situation. Illuminating the heavens only existed in ancient books. At this moment, he saw it with his own eyes. Was he going to witness history? Was a great emperor suddenly rising in front of him? Thinking of this possibility, even with his cultivation and strength, he couldn't help but tremble. Illuminating the heavens? Lin Xian's eyes flickered. He was also excited and the corner of his mouth raised into a smile. Great. Although he didn't know whether it was a great emperor or not, it was definitely an existence above the great saint realm. His life and death battles weren't in vain. It was too worth it. This time's heavenly fate test was really worth it. However, at this moment, another change occurred. The heavens illuminating the heavens under Lin Xian's feet suddenly became incomparably dark. They turned into black lotuses, blooming everywhere. What's going on? Is there a change? Black lotuses, blooming with every step? What the hell was going on? These people were all stunned. Those black lotuses kept blooming and then crazily wrapped around Lin Xian. They wanted to swallow Lin Xian. Lin Xian's pupils shrank. This kind of lotus? He was completely stunned. This sudden turn of events stunned all the people present. The bronze emissary was stunned again. This time, his eyes almost fell out again. At the same time, the heavens illuminating the heavens disappeared. The heavenly fate stone trembled, and blood gushed out from the 9 holes. It was abnormally strange and terrifying. It stained the starry sky, and the blood condensed into a huge killing intent. The killing intent was monstrous. At this moment, everyone couldn't help but want to kneel on the ground. Retreat. They frantically retreated. What exactly happened? The black lotuses reappeared, and blood dyed the sky. The bronze emissary screamed crazily and jumped up. You are a person abandoned by the heavens. Lin Xian was also shocked. The heavens illuminating the heavens had long been dyed red by the blood. That immense killing intent almost caused his body to collapse. He frantically resisted, and at the same time, what shocked him even more was the black lotuses under his feet. How could he forget this kind of black lotus? He would remember it for the rest of his life. This was because when he was young, it was this kind of lotus that sealed his meridians, preventing him from cultivating. After that, Lord Alcohol appeared and cracked the black lotus, allowing him to cultivate. He thought that he would never see this kind of lotus again in his life. But he didn't expect to see it again now. And these black lotuses wanted to seal him again. Damn it, what's going on? He activated his dragon-shaped sword chi and frantically resisted. The others were even more stunned. A person abandoned by the heavens? What did this mean? Could it be that he was abandoned by the heavens? But what was going on with the heavens illuminating the heavens? All of this was too strange. Even though these people were favored by the heavens, they were still stunned. Chapter 3995. Ha 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 ha. At this moment, someone laughed proudly. It was Yu Quan. His nerves were incomparably ferocious. What heaven illuminator! What great holy sun! You're a dead man. Did you see that kill? Heaven and earth will not tolerate it. Lin Wudi, you will definitely die. The others were also in an uproar. Emotio jumped out and sneered. That's right, heaven and earth will not tolerate it. Why are you still alive? Hurry up and kneel down and accept your death. This sudden change shocked everyone. It was impossible, right? How could it be like this? The North Demon and the others exclaimed. Li Hongxiu also found it hard to understand. The Crimson Dragon frowned. Damn it, why did the Blood Fiend appear? How could the Heaven Illuminator disappear? How could that kid become a person abandoned by the heavens? One had to know that Lin Xian had many fortunes along the way. He had a divine body and a dragon sword soul. It was hard to find one in tens of thousands of years. And along the way, he had relied on his own strength to obtain all kinds of heavenly treasures. Such a person was simply the chosen one of the heavens. How could he be a person abandoned by the heavens? The toad screamed again. In his life, he had never felt as excited as today. This, he stuttered again. Brother Xian. Morong Qingcheng was incomparably nervous. She didn't care whether he was a heaven illuminator or a person abandoned by the heavens. She was very worried about Lin Xian. She was afraid that Lin Xian couldn't accept this fact. Heaven illuminator and a person abandoned by the heavens actually happened to the same person at the same time. What a strange thing. Chao Tianqing had his hands behind his back. His brows were tightly knitted together. He couldn't understand this kind of thing. On the other side, Gu Feng heaved a sigh of relief. The corner of his mouth raised into a cold smile. Scared to death. I originally thought that he was going to completely surpass me. Now it seems that his path has come to an end. Such a person isn't worthy of my attention. He shook his head and ignored it. How could a person abandoned by the heavens have a future? Jian Shen also revealed a cold smile. Senior brother, it seems that we don't need to do anything. The heavens and earth won't tolerate him. Beside him, the killing intent in Wan Jian's eyes also disappeared. He also laughed. A person without a future is not worthy of our attack. Lin Xian's expression was incomparably grave. He did not understand what the Black Lotus represented and what it meant to be abandoned by the heavens. However, he felt a great sense of danger. Fortunately, he was now a powerful saint. He was no longer the weak young man from back then. The dragon-shaped sword chi swung out, bringing with it an unparalleled sharp aura that cut off everything. Those black lotuses were blocked by the sword chi, unable to get close at all. However, Lin Xian's expression was extremely serious. He lifted his head to look at the bronze envoy and asked in a deep voice, Senior, what's going on? The bronze messenger was also stunned. His heart seemed to have been thrown into the 9 heavens before falling into a bottomless abyss. The young man in front of him had first conjured a heaven illuminator. This unprecedented illusion made him think that he was a young great emperor. But now, the illusion of someone who had been abandoned by the heavens appeared once more. staining the starry sky with blood. These two illusions were actually on the same person. It was truly shocking. However, the bronze envoy knew what this meant. Therefore, his voice turned icy cold. His meaning was already very clear. You have been abandoned by the heavens and earth and cannot exist in this world. He abruptly stretched out a large bronze hand and slapped forward fiercely. This sudden scene stunned everyone. The bronze envoy had made his move. Previously, the bronze envoy had severely injured Wu Xian with a single finger. Could Lin Xian block it? Wouldn't this slap destroy Lin Xian's astral soul? Not good. The Crimson Dragon, Murong Qingcheng, and the others shrieked in alarm, wanting to intervene. However, just the aftermath of this energy made it impossible for them to move forward. On the other side, Lei Zhan, the nine-headed Qilin, and the others were ecstatic. Jin Shun and the others were even more excited. This was great. This attack would definitely kill the other party. He was still far from being able to fight with them. They did not even need to make a move to kill the other party. Lin Xian's pupils shrank. The bronze envoy was definitely a sacred venerate. He might even be a saint king. How could he possibly block such an attack? He felt his entire body turn cold. He could not even summon the power of the Grand Sage Pagoda. Was he going to die? He was unwilling to accept this. So what if he was a bronze envoy? He activated the great dragon's sword soul and roared crazily. He would not sit still and wait for death. This was not his style. It was like throwing an egg against a rock. Wang Jiani, Gu Feng, and the others sneered when they saw this. There was no suspense in this battle. At this critical moment, a ray of light suddenly lit up. It enveloped the bronze hand. Then, with a cracking sound, countless bronze fragments fell to the ground. The bronze hand in the sky was directly cut in half. The bronze envoy grunted and retreated. Who was it? He roared crazily. The others were also stunned. What was going on? Lin Wudi was not dead. Someone actually saved Lin Wudi. That was impossible. Who in this world could stop the bronze envoy? Lin Xian was also stunned. Could it be? He turned his head. A figure floated down from the ninth heaven and came to his side. It was a figure covered in black fog. It was impossible to see clearly. However, the aura he emitted was too strange and mysterious. Everyone felt an indescribable pressure. It was as if their hearts were about to shatter. Who are you? The bronze envoy's pupils constricted. This person's aura was very dangerous. Lin Xian smiled. Black Mountain, you're finally here. He did not expect Black Mountain to come at this critical moment. The Crimson Dragon heaved a sigh of relief. That's great, you old ghost. Do you know that it was extremely dangerous just now? The Crimson Dragon roared from behind. Master and the North Demon also rushed over. Murong Qingcheng heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed that this was a top expert. With him around, Brother Xin should not be in danger. The toad shrunk its neck. It was scared to death. It naturally knew Black Mountain. It had seen him in the Golden Palace before. However, it did not expect him to be stronger than it had imagined. He actually dared to fight against the bronze envoy. Who was this person? Was there such a terrifying existence behind Lin Wudi? Yu Quan, Mo Xiu, and the others felt their hair stand on end. Gu Feng and Wang Jiani's faces became extremely solemn. Even Chao Tianxing's expression was solemn. Lei Zhan, Nine Qilins, and the others screamed. It was him. How could it be? They had seen Black Mountain once. Previously, in the depths of the Golden Palace, there was a figure standing in front of the golden platform. Although his back was facing them at that time, they could recognize him at a glance. It was the figure in front of them. Heavens, who was this person? Why did he protect Lin Wudi? They were about to go crazy from anger. You dare to fight against me? Do you want to die? The bronze envoy's voice was unusually cold. Black Mountain snorted. Little envoy, you dare to be arrogant in front of me? Do you want to die? He was incomparably domineering. Chapter 3996. The bronze emissary's expression was cold. Which holy city are you from? He stared at him for a long time but couldn't tell which holy city he was from. However, he soon snorted coldly. No matter which holy city you are from, this kid is abandoned by the heavens. If you dare to help him, you are going against the heavens. Your soul will be destroyed. Do you dare? At this point, the destined star suddenly erupted with unparalleled power. Lightning fell from the heavens as if to destroy everything. Are you threatening me? Black Mountain snorted coldly. Can you represent the heavens? What abandoned by the heavens? You are just abandoned by the immortals. What's the big deal? If this path is blocked, there are other paths. If you dare to make a move, you have to ask my permission first. An extremely terrifying aura also rushed out of Black Mountain's body. A jade-like rui appeared in his hand. He waved it lightly, and the lightning above collapsed. The endless lightning strikes were destroyed before they even landed. This scene shocked the bronze emissary even more. Damn it, how did this happen? The toad jumped up. Damn it, how did you get that thing? The others were also stunned. They remembered this jade rui. Back then, on the golden platform, there was a sleeping woman. She had the body of a human and the tail of a snake, and she was holding the jade rui in her hand. Who would have thought that the other party would get his hands on it? How dare you use the queen's item? The toad was about to go crazy. It wanted nothing more than to pounce on the other party. However, it was stopped by the dark red holy dragon. Brother, don't worry. Old Black is too strong. You can't beat him. This person was really too strong. He could be easily destroyed by the lightning tribulation. What kind of existence was he? At the same time, they were even more shocked. Abandoned by the heavens? Abandoned by the immortals? What was going on? What did it mean? Even Lin Xian was stunned. It wasn't that he didn't have a future. Was there another path? The bronze emissary's pupils constricted. How did you know? Who are you? He was too shocked. This kind of secret wasn't something that just anyone could know. Even the second astral realm didn't know. How did the other party know? Damn it. Could it be that the other party came from the third astral realm, the legendary world? He couldn't believe it. But why would such a person appear here? It shouldn't be. The bronze emissary would never have guessed that Black Mountain was a supreme saint, and a remnant soul at that. Lin Xian also asked, what does Black Mountain mean? What was an abandoned immortal? Speak clearly. Heishan said, we'll talk about this later. The one beside you is the red spider lily, right? I'll help you get rid of it. Yu and the other resurrection lilies in his hands instantly collapsed. Black Lotus, red spider lily. Lin Xian was even more shocked. It seemed like Heishan knew a lot of things. Perhaps he could find out from Heishan who had sealed him? Why were these black lotuses targeting him? Damn it. Don't think that you can be so arrogant in front of me just because you know a little. I am the bronze emissary, and I have been ordered to guard planet Tianming. I have the final say in this world. At this point, the entire world began to tremble along with him. Boundless laws of heaven and earth gathered in his hand, forming a world in his palm. What do you have to contend with me? In the end, the world within the palm transformed into a bronze gate. Everyone was very familiar with it. After crossing the bronze gate, there was a strange space. However, they didn't expect that the bronze gate could be used as a weapon in battle. Was this a sage artifact? The powerful aura shocked everyone. They were forced to crawl on the ground. Heishan snorted coldly. My cultivation hasn't recovered yet. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the right to be so arrogant in front of me. Indeed, if he was in his peak state, he could kill Heishan with one look. However, he was only a remnant soul now. Even so, he still had some tricks up his sleeve. Yu in his hand flew out and blocked the bronze gate. It even suppressed the bronze gate. Impossible. What is this thing? Could it be? The bronze emissary was stunned. Even his bronze gate was suppressed. At this moment, another person walked over from afar, coughing as he walked. How lively. An old woman came over to take a look. It was an old woman with white hair and a walking stick. Her back was hunched, and her face was sallow. She was coughing and looked very sick. She took 1 step, 2 steps, and arrived near the bronze emissary in an instant. Stop. Don't do these things anymore. Otherwise, your wife will teach you a lesson. The old woman's voice was low, but it could be heard clearly by the people. Many people exclaimed. Heavens, another person who looked down on the bronze emissary has appeared? It was unbelievable. Was this person also here to help Lin Xian? Damn it. What kind of luck did Lin Wuti have to have so many experts to protect him? At this moment, many people were jealous. Murong Qingqing heaved a sigh of relief. With Heishan around, he was relieved. Now that another mysterious expert had appeared, there shouldn't be any danger. Who are you? How dare you control me? The bronze emissary roared and slapped out. Oh, how dare you attack my wife? The old woman was leaning on her walking stick, and there was a flower basket hanging on it. She took out a pair of scissors from the basket and cut in front of her. The scissors suddenly let out a loud dragon roar and turned into two huge dragons, cutting the palm into pieces again. The bronze emissary retreated and screamed. Dragon scissors, you're the flower tailor. Damn you. You're here too? The bronze emissary's expression became extremely ugly. The surrounding people were surprised. Who was this person? Some of the top experts exclaimed. Could it be someone from the Heavenly Law Union? What? The Heavenly Law Sect? The legendary existence that enforced justice on behalf of the heavens? Everyone had heard of this organization. This organization was very mysterious. It was said that they represented the heavens and earth to protect the safety of the top experts. They were to prevent some experts from being jealous and attacking them. That's not right. Wasn't Lin Wuti abandoned by the heavens? He shouldn't be tolerated by the heavens and earth. Why would the heavenly law help him? They should kill him. At this moment, everyone went crazy. They couldn't understand what was going on. Even Lin Xian couldn't figure it out. However, he was no stranger to the Heavenly Law Union. When he was attacked by the mortal world, he met an expert from the Heavenly Law Union. At that time, he was a drunkard who gave him a bottle of wine. He didn't expect another flower tailor to appear. It seemed that this flower tailor was even stronger. Do you still want to attack? The flower tailor continued to ask. Heishan sneered. If you attack again, this will be your grave. No one had ever dared to threaten the bronze emissary. However, this time, the bronze emissary admitted defeat. The flower tailor was enough to make him feel like he was facing a great enemy, not to mention the mysterious person beside her. It was as terrifying as the jade in his hand. He snorted coldly. He was abandoned by the heavens. Even if you save him today, he will not be tolerated by the heavens and earth, and you will be punished by the heavens and earth. I'm not afraid of threats. Heishan sneered and didn't care. The flower tailor also said that you don't represent the heavens. Chapter 3997. Let's go, young man. Tailor Hua and Black Mountain joined forces to take Su Cheng, Murong Qingqing, and the others away and disappeared. The others were extremely surprised. They didn't expect such a thing to happen. Could it be that Lin Wuti wasn't really abandoned by the heavens? Damn it, no, they had to make a move. They couldn't let him live. Originally, they thought that the other party would die when the bronze emissary made a move. Moreover, he had no future. But now it seemed that this wasn't the case at all. The people of the Heavenly Tao Alliance came to his rescue, which meant that there must be a secret, but they didn't know what it was. More importantly, the other party had condensed a heaven illuminator. This was an existence that surpassed the great sage. So they absolutely couldn't allow such a person to exist. They had to kill him. For a time, many sacred cities began to plan. Once they left the Destiny Star, they would start a crazy hunt. On the other side, Tailor Hua and Black Mountain joined hands and left the bronze emissary with Lin Xian. However, they didn't leave the Destiny Star. Instead, they came to a safe place at the edge. Black Mountain used the jade in his hand to form an independent space that enveloped everyone. He said that this place wouldn't be controlled by the Destiny Star. The toad looked at the jade with red eyes, but it didn't dare to say anything. They all heaved a sigh of relief. Lin Xian cupped his fists and said, "Thank you, senior. Young man, you have a promising future. It's our duty to protect young geniuses like you. Not only you, but if other top geniuses are persecuted like this, we will definitely help." Tailor Hua said, "Senior, what's going on? Black Mountain, do you know? Hurry up and tell me. Lin Xian was too confused. What happened today was completely beyond his expectations. The black lotus that sealed him appeared again, and it was called the Red Spider Lily. He used a heaven illuminator, which was above the great sage. Then, he became a person abandoned by the heavens. And Black Mountain said that he was abandoned by the immortals. What was the difference between the two? What surprised him even more was that the Heavenly Tao Alliance, which claimed to enforce justice on behalf of the heavens, was protecting him at this moment. Wasn't this the opposite of the scene that the Destiny Stone manifested? Murong Qingqing and the others were also confused, so they all looked at Heishan and Hua Taylor. Heishan said, "Kid, there are some things that you know too early. When you have the strength in the future and step into that realm, you will naturally understand." Damn it, old man. Everyone's hearts were itching with anxiety. They didn't expect that the other party wouldn't say anything. Lin Xian also sighed. He had not expected that the other party would actually hold back. However, Heishan added, "Don't worry. If this path doesn't work, there are other paths. You just need to walk down with peace of mind. As for the embroidered tailor at the side, I can say something. You are indeed not a person abandoned by the heavens, but a person abandoned by the immortals. Although we are known as the Heavenly Tao Union in the outside world, our true name is the Deity Tao Union. We are not in the same league as them." Everyone was stunned. There was too much information in these words. They were all confused. What was the meaning of this? Lin Xian's eyes flickered. He felt that he still didn't know most of the things that had happened. For example, who exactly were the Black Lotus Flowers and the Bronze Envoy? However, Xiao Chun understood. The faction behind the Bronze Envoy and the Embroidered Tailor were two different factions. Both of these factions represented the heavens. However, there was a subdivision. As for the other sages in the outside world, they did not know. They all thought that these two factions represented the Heavenly Tao. That was probably why the previous matter happened. If that was the case, then Lin Xian had nothing to fear. Xiao Chun smiled coldly. So what if he was a person abandoned by the immortals? Since he was not recognized by the Bronze Invoice faction, he would take another path. Heishan also said that this path didn't work. There were other paths. Heishan wanted to end Xiao Qin's life and death with just one destiny stone? That was too simple. An extremely terrifying light burst out of Lin Xian's eyes. "Brat, you are not dispirited or afraid. This makes me feel very gratified." When Heishan saw Lin Xian's expression, he nodded in satisfaction. "What is there to be afraid of? You already said that we are not in the same league. What can they do to me? Young man, just cultivate properly. There is no need to be afraid of them. We will help you block those people. Old woman, this is something we can do." "Many thanks, senior." Lin Xian performed a cupped fist salute. Given the Bronze Invoice status, it was even scarier than the Holy City. If those people wanted to attack, Xiao Chun would be in great danger. Now, with the Deity Tao Union's guarantee, those mysterious factions should not touch Xiao Chun. However, there was still one more problem. Lin Xian felt very confused. Why did they target him? Lin Xian could not understand. This was especially so for that Black Lotus flower. Why did it want to seal him? After all, Xiao Chun was not the only one with exceptional talent. Even Heishan was confused about this. He could not explain this either. The embroidered tailor, who was at the side, revealed a look of shock. She sized up Lin Xian again. Perhaps it was that possibility. Heishan did not elaborate. Instead, she instructed him again. "Your future path might be very dangerous. However, if you can charge out, it is not impossible for you to become a heaven illuminator in the future." Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. A heaven illuminator. Was that really a supreme existence above a great sage? Could Lin Xian really reach that step? Lin Xian also sucked in a deep breath of air, his eyes filled with excitement. "Many thanks, senior." Now, they just had to wait here. The Heaven's Mandate Stone activated. The time before they left the Heaven's Mandate Star was very tight. Hence, they waited patiently. On the other side, the atmosphere at the Bronze Invoice side was incredibly awkward. The incomparably powerful bronze emissary had actually been scared off. The surrounding people were all stupefied. Most of the important people had already tested their heavenly fate. As for the others, they did not dare to step forward. If they angered the bronze envoy at this moment, not to mention testing their heavenly fate, they might even lose their lives. This fellow was too strange. The things that happened to him were too strange. Right, that was right. Quickly get rid of him. Everyone thought that Lin Xian had no future and would die for sure. However, the Heavenly Dao Union's people chased him away. This meant that there was still hope for him. Furthermore, if he could continue living, could he become a heaven illuminator? When they thought of this possibility, they felt horrified. They absolutely could not allow such a person to exist. These people decided that they would immediately take action after returning and kill him with all their might. Just like that, they waited for another 3 days. After 3 days, the seal on the Heaven's Mandate star was unlocked. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Were they finally leaving? They had stayed on the Heaven's Mandate star for several years. During this time, they had obtained countless treasures. However, many of their companions had also fallen. At this moment, leaving them was really like a dream. Let's go. These people soared into the sky one after another. Quickly, they must get in front of Lin Wudi. Inform the people of the sacred land to join forces to kill him. This was the best opportunity. They could not let him grow wings and fly away. Chapter 3998. Lei Jun, Nine-Headed Qilin, Yu Quan, Emoshio, and the others were moving very fast. Wan Jiani had already started to contact the people of the Myriad Sword Pavilion. On the other side, Lin Xian and the others were also moving. They turned into a stream of light and flew out quickly. Outside the heavenly fate planet, countless experts and saints were waiting. Many of them were minor saints and powerful elders. At this moment, their expressions were solemn and filled with anxiety. A few years had passed. Those people inside should have obtained some good fortune. Of course, some elders of the sacred city were gnashing their teeth. They all had soul tablets in their hands and knew how many people had died. It was precisely because they knew that they were vomiting blood. The reason for that was because they discovered that the number of deaths far exceeded their expectations. Especially the Yellow Spring Palace and the Great Desolate Prefecture, their teeth were about to break, because they realized that their chief disciples had died inside. This was intolerable. No matter who it was, they must kill him. These people were all holding sacred weapons, ready to move at any time. Finally, their eyelids twitched and they exclaimed, "He's here." In the mysterious world of stars in the distance, there was a bright light that pierced through the void, flying towards the universe outside. This was great. They knew that the people inside had finally come out. One figure after another flashed past quickly. The aura was unusually strong. It was Lei Jun. His strength had become stronger. Late stage ninth heaven, he was not far from becoming a minor saint. The people of Thunder God City exclaimed. This was great. After coming out of seclusion for a period of time, he should be able to smoothly become a minor saint. However, they realized that Lei Jun's face was not looking good. What's going on? What happened? They were puzzled. A few minor saints quickly flew over. On the other side, Nine-Headed Qilin also came out. He was also at the late stage fifth heaven. The elders of the Thousand Demon City all surrounded him. What's going on? Why is his face so ugly? What happened? These people quickly asked. By the way, why did so many of our geniuses die? Nine-Headed Qilin's face was ugly. Facing the elders, he wanted to cry. Not only did the geniuses die, but he had also lost a few lives. Now, he was only left with 4 lives. Where could he go to reason with them? On the other side, Lei Jun gritted his teeth and said, "Elder, quickly kill Lin Wudi. He can't leave this place alive." On the other side, Nine-Headed Qilin also roared, "Yes, kill Lin Wudi and destroy his heart and soul." The elders of the 2 holy cities cried out in alarm. Could it be that all those people who died were done by that brat? Yes, that's right. Lei Jun nodded, but there was a more important reason. Lin Wudi must not be allowed to live. What? These people exclaimed. The experts of the Great Desolation Mansion and the Acheron Palace rushed out. As soon as they came out, they roared, "Elders, hurry up and find Lin Wuti. Tear him to shreds." The surrounding sages were stunned. It was Lin Wuti again. Heavens, what did Lin Wuti do to provoke so much anger from the crowd? Our chief disciple was killed by him, and Yu Yayan, everyone. Yuru of Yayin, Yu Yayan the Yu. Not only that, most of the people who had died there had died at the hands of that guy. These people gritted their teeth. There was a more important reason. They couldn't let Lin Wuti live. There was another reason. What was the reason? These people were stunned. They didn't have time to ask, because more and more people rushed out of the celestial fate planet. In the next moment, they screamed. At this moment, a few extremely powerful people came out. Their cultivation base instantly reached the 5th heavenly layer, reaching the Little Saint realm. They roared at the sky. That power made some of the elders of the sacred city shudder. So strong. A little saint really sneaked in. They didn't dare to imagine. Such a person was like a god on the celestial fate planet. But soon, they were stunned. Because in these 2 moments, the little saint expert roared at the sky. Lin Wuti, I'll fight you to the death. Lin Wuti, today is the day you die. What's going on? It was related to Lin Wuti again. The surrounding people were stunned. This was a little saint. Lin Wuti dared to provoke such a person. No, they were on the pilgrim roll. Someone finally screamed and recognized them. They were on the pilgrim roll. That was Emotio and Yu Quan. Both of them were geniuses on the pilgrim roll. The holy pilgrimage list was a very powerful list. If one was not an extremely powerful saint, they would not be able to get on it. Lin Wuti was able to make the people on the pilgrim roll so angry. What did he do? At this moment, everyone was stunned. They all wanted to know. The elders of the Myriad Demon City, Thunder God City, Great Desolate Mansion, and Acheron Hall also heard the news and moved. Although they didn't understand now, they must find Lin Xian and control him first. Buzz. Suddenly, countless powerful sword chi flashed between heaven and earth, tearing the void. The people of the Sword Pavilion. Many people's scalps went numb. This was a group of sword saints. Everyone was afraid when they were angry. When they came out, it was Yang Tian who roared. That was why they wanted to kill Lin Wuti. The people of the sacred city were about to vomit blood. Lin Wuti again. How many people did Lin Wuti offend? Why do I feel like he's made the world his enemy? At this time, Wan Jiani came out. On the other side, Gu Feng also came out. He appeared in a very mysterious way. In just an instant, he disappeared into the void. The people didn't know if the expert in this space had left or hidden. On the other side, Chao Tianqing also came out with his people. The people around were surprised. It seemed that all the people on the pilgrim roll had entered. They didn't know what the destiny of these people was like. To be honest, they were looking forward to the future of these people. After all, it was related to the fate of the sacred city. At the same time, they were also curious about what Lin Xian had done. Shi Bufan and the others of Peerless City and Watersky City also came out. They were younger than the other disciples of the sacred city, so they had their own strategies. They didn't fight for the fortune of the Hot Gate, but lost some other places. Although this opportunity might not be as great as the others, at least they came safely. Therefore, these people were very satisfied with their breakthroughs. They didn't go for the fortune-telling, so they didn't know what happened before. When they heard that Lin Xian was being attacked by so many sacred city disciples, they felt a lingering fear. What did eldest senior brother do? No, we have to inform the elders of Peerless City quickly. The situation was very bad. At this time, Yu Quan stood up and said loudly, Lin Wuti killed the geniuses of the sacred city. His crime was punishable by death. Moreover, he was abandoned by the heavens. Heaven and earth couldn't tolerate him. Everyone had the right to kill him. Chapter 3999. The surrounding people were in an uproar, their faces full of shock. They knew that Lin Wuti had killed geniuses. Quite a few chief disciples and powerful saints had died at the hands of the other party. But heaven and earth did not tolerate him. What did that mean? Could it be? Some of the elders from the holy city sucked in a breath of cold air. Had his heavenly fate been determined? That's right. His destiny had been measured. He was a person abandoned by the heavens. His blood dyed the blue sky. Even the bronze messenger wanted to kill him. How could they not do it? Lin Wuti had no future. These people were all stunned. Soon, these elders of the holy city all laughed out loud. Great, this guy was definitely going to die. When they heard that he had killed so many chief disciples, they were terrified. When such a person grew up, he would be another powerhouse on the pilgrim list. But now, he was not tolerated by heaven and earth. Not to mention becoming a powerhouse on the pilgrim list, he might not even be able to walk out of here alive today. How could they know that the truth was far from that? These people wanted to kill Lin Xian because they were angry, but most importantly, they were terrified. After all, Lin Xian was the only person who could transform into a heaven illuminator. Even if they felt that it was too unbelievable, it couldn't be true. But the other party had at least condensed the glory of the galaxy. This meant that it was not a problem for him to become a supreme saint. Although they kept saying that the other party was a person abandoned by the heavens. But after all, the Heavenly Tao Alliance had made a move. Such a mysterious organization protected Lin Xian. One could imagine. Lin Xian had endless secrets. They would not allow such a potential threat to appear. That was the reason why these top powerhouses wanted to make a move. The people of Heavenly Water City were pale. How could their senior brother become a person abandoned by the heavens? How could it be? Elders, come quickly. They had already sent out the signal. On the other side, the people of Heavenly Fragrance Pavilion were also surprised, because they realized that their little princess had not come out. That was the daughter of the Saint King. Would there be any problems? There was also a group of people who were incomparably mysterious. There were few of them, but they stood above the 9 heavens. Their bodies were surrounded by green light, and it was impossible to tell whether they were real or fake. Some people knew that these people were from Kunlun Pavilion. At this moment, they were also a little anxious. While they were waiting, a few figures flew out. Everyone turned their heads to look. The next moment, they screamed, "Lin Wuti, it's him. He finally came out. Humph, after hiding for so long, you finally can't take it anymore." Even if he came out late, he would still die. The experts of the sacred city all surrounded him. Those on the pilgrim rankings moved as well. They had to make a move this time. Chao Tianxing was the only one who didn't make a move. He brought his people far away and stood there with his hands clasped behind his back, silently watching the battle. It seemed he just wanted to be a spectator. Qin Xianer also did not make a move. Her beautiful eyes were bewitching, and no one knew what she was thinking. Lin Xian and the others came out, followed by Murong Qingqing and Li Hongxiu, the Northern Devil and the Crimson Dragon. The Toad didn't come out and remained on celestial fate. Black Mountain, the flowery tailor, also disappeared. As soon as these people came out, they were besieged by the all heavens. Countless terrifying auras enveloped them. As long as they didn't agree with each other, they would probably attack immediately. Such a violent power could instantly turn them into a bloody mist. Lin Wuti, kneel down and accept your death. Yu Quan roared. Emoshio also stood out. You are a person abandoned by the heavens, so we should enforce justice on behalf of the heavens. Hand over what you have on you, and we will give you a quick death. Wan Jinni also walked out. He was very jealous of Lin Xian's dragon-shaped sword shadow. The sword aura emitted from it made his heart beat faster. Not to mention, there were also Lei Zhan, the 9 Qilins, and the eldest prince around, as well as the experts of the other sacred city. No one could contend against such a lineup. It was too strong. It was as if they were enemies of the heavens. Senior brother. In the distance, Wang Xiaofeng and the others screamed in Aqua Sky City. Lin Xian finally came out, but the situation was too bad. Even if the people of Peerless City came, they probably wouldn't be able to see enough. They found that, except for a few of the sacred lands present, most of them were actually going to attack. Prepare to die. Angry shouts sounded one after another. The dark rainbow godly dragon roared. Do you all want to die? Do you know who you're facing? Humph. Those abandoned by the heavens deserve to die. The people of Acheron Hall sneered. The people of Demon City also snorted. Idiots. The divine dragon roared, and you listened to them? They just didn't dare to say it. Abandoned by the heavens? Let me tell you, this kid has condensed and illuminated the heavens. In the future, he will become a supreme existence above the supreme saint. Do you dare to attack a young great emperor? Do you not want to live anymore? As soon as these words came out, the surrounding saints all trembled. What was going on? Wasn't Lin Wudy abandoned by the heavens? How did he become a young great emperor? Seeing the shock of the surrounding people, the crimson dragon's mouth curled into a cold smile. How about it? You know fear now. If you know fear, hurry up and get lost. Otherwise, I will destroy all of your sacred lands in the future. Leijian, what was going on? Yes, why was it different from what you said? The elders of the sacred city began to ask. They were too shocked now. Leijian, the 9 Cheelants, and the others had ugly expressions. The elders were fickle. He was a little talented, but he was indeed abandoned by the heavens. This was something that everyone who entered the heavenly fate star knew. They all saw that the bronze envoy had attacked him. Even the bronze envoy wanted to kill him. Do you think he still has a future? As soon as these words came out, many people calmed down. A loach dared to mislead people here. No matter what you say today, you will die without a doubt. You are the loach, your whole family are loaches. The dark rainbow divine dragon roared, and his body suddenly grew larger. He turned into a true dragon, roaring at the sky, mighty and extraordinary. What a terrifying aura. The people of the demon city trembled and shivered. This was a dragon. Was he a member of the dragon clan? These people were all terrified. They didn't expect that by Lin Xian's side. He actually followed the people of the dragon clan. Humph, if you dare to attack Brother Xian, ask me first. Murong Qingcheng, the 7-colored light on his body bloomed brilliantly. It turned into the phantom of a colorful phoenix. It covered the ground, and a loud phoenix cry rang out. At this moment, everyone trembled in fear again. Heaven, Phoenix, were they from the Phoenix clan? The true dragon and Phoenix had all come out, and they were all by Lin Xian's side. That scene was too shocking. Now, who dared to say that they were abandoned by the heavens? Li Hongxiu also walked out. She also had a terrifying aura on her body. It was her, the little princess of the heavenly fragrance pavilion, the daughter of the Saint King. The northern demon didn't say anything, but he also stood out. Behind him, there was a divine tree that connected the heavens and the earth, covering the sky. It was abnormally strange. Everyone was stunned. Why were the people around Lin Xian so terrifying? They felt that each of them was not weaker than the chief disciple. They were even much stronger. Chapter 4000. So what if the bronze emissary attacked? The people of the Heavenly Tao Alliance saved him personally. Think carefully. If you attack now, you will attack the group of young great emperors. In the future, all of your inheritances will be destroyed. The Heavenly Tao Alliance is protecting him. Does he really have the potential of a great emperor? Damn it. These people were too frightened. Wan Jianyi snorted. No matter what you say, even if you are a young great emperor today, you will die without a doubt. How can a person without a future talk about talent? Yes, no matter who you are, you will die today. The surrounding experts and saints all stood up. Today, they wanted to eliminate the source of trouble to prevent future troubles. Ha 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 ha. Lin Xian looked up to the sky and laughed. After saying so much, aren't you afraid of me? Are you still pretending to be righteous and upholding justice? What a bunch of despicable and shameless people. You said I killed your genius? Your chief disciple? Why don't you ask what your genius and chief disciple did? You joined forces with dozens of saints to kill me? I fought back. What's wrong with that? His voice was like thunder, spreading in all directions. Everyone was stunned. Lin Xian looked around. Leijian, you said you didn't dare to attack me. Now, you dare to come out and yell? You have a chance. I will definitely kill you. Lei Zhan was trembling with anger. Lin Xian then looked at the 9 Qilins. Now that they were jumping around so happily, how many of them were left? If you dare to be arrogant with the remaining 4 lives, I will kill you all together. I will turn you into a lonely soul and a ghost. The 9 Qilins vomited blood when they heard this. The people of Myriad Demon City were also frightened. What's going on? Only 4 of the 9 Qilins are left? They have lost 5 lives in there? Heavens! It was like a bolt from the blue that they couldn't accept. Lin Xian continued to look around and came to the pilgrim roll. Yu Quan? The genius on the pilgrim roll is very powerful. You can't suppress me in there. At most, we are tied. But you are a small saint. How dare you yell at me here? What? Lin Wudi is tied with Yu Quan. Everyone was going crazy. Was this guy trying to defy the heavens? Could he really be a young great emperor? Then, he looked at the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. Are you sword saints very powerful? What Tianshan's 7 swords and 10 great sword saints? Didn't I kill them all? And you, Jian Shun, the head disciple, weren't you also scared witless by my lightning? If it weren't for your senior brother, you would have died long ago. Everyone was terrified once again. The sword saints of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion were so powerful and terrifying, but they were all eaten by Lin Xian. Jianshan was also trembling with anger, but he couldn't say anything. Lin Xian looked at Wang Jiani. Although you're strong, you're also despicable and shameless. You want to kill me because you want the treasure in my hands. However, you will never get it in this lifetime. I am a heaven illuminator, unparalleled in the future. That stupid bronze emissary wanted to attack me because he was jealous of me. Do you guys not know the difference between life and death? Taking 10,000 steps back, even if I don't condense the heaven illuminator, then I at least have the glory of the Milky Way. That's the position of a great saint. Ask yourself, if everyone goes in, how many can condense it? Only me. There's also a spatial powerhouse. As for this Wan Jiani, he can only condense a trace of light. Your talent is so much worse than mine. What right do you have to be arrogant in front of me? Lin Xian's voice made everyone go crazy. These people from the holy city felt that their brains weren't enough. This information was too broad. Lin Xian's next words made them bleed. Wan Jiani was also about to go crazy. Lin Xian said, of course, that spatial powerhouse is also not my match. Because what I condensed is really a heaven illuminator. It's above him. If you guys want to attack me, you have to think about the consequences. Lin Xian's words stunned everyone. It seemed that this kid had obtained a great fortune inside and killed everyone. The head disciple was no match for him at all. Even the people on the pilgrim list couldn't do anything to him. Moreover, he really had the talent of the ancient land. Even if he wasn't a great emperor, he was still a great saint. If such a person grew up, who in the second astral realm could contend against him? What are you being arrogant for? I was seriously injured back then and suppressed my cultivation. Otherwise, would you be my match now? UK roared. He couldn't afford to lose face. In the void, an inexplicable voice also came. After saying so much, didn't you just want a way out? You can't leave today. A strange voice came from the void. Who was it? The Crimson Dragon roared. Lin Xian's face was cold. Gu Feng. Was the other party going to attack him as well? His eyes were filled with killing intent. When the others heard this, they all moved. No matter what you say, you can't escape death today. Kill him and split the treasures on him. Jian Chen roared. The others were about to move. At this moment, a loud shout came from afar. Who dared to attack? Then, countless red leaves danced in the sky. One terrifying divine ability after another was opened up, creating a path for him. The sky was full of red leaves. Fu Hongye was here. Many people exclaimed. He was a genius of the previous generation on the pilgrim list. His current strength was unimaginable. Behind Fu Hongye, there were some second-generation disciples and some elders of Wushuang City. After they arrived, they looked at Lin Xian. Who dares to touch the people of Wushuang City? These people roared crazily. They received the call for help from Shui Tianqing and the others and immediately rushed over. It seemed that Lin Xian was in big trouble. Senior brother. The people of Wushuang City also rushed over. Lin Xian also said, Senior brother Fu, you're here? Fu Hongye nodded. Then he looked at Yu Quan, Emoshio, and the others. Are the two of you going to attack? Why don't I play with you? The aura on his body was too terrifying. Yu Quan and Emoshio's scalps went numb. Are you trying to bully others? The two screamed. Fu Hong also laughed when she heard this. Bullying others with your power? You guys attacked my junior brother. Isn't that bullying others with your power? I want to see what kind of monsters are on this year's pilgrim list. Fu Hongye's eyes swept across the surroundings. At this moment, Yu Quan, Emoshio, and the others frantically retreated. People like Lei Zhan and the others couldn't resist at all. Even Wan Jianyi was facing a great enemy. He used myriad swords convergence to resist with all his might. At the same time, he felt a chill on his back. Was this person really that terrifying? You're a genius of the previous generation. It's normal for us to be inferior to you. Yu Quan gritted his teeth and said. The other elders of the holy city also surrounded. Fu Hongye, today is not the place for you to behave atrociously. It has nothing to do with you. We only want to kill Lin Wudi. What should we do? The elders of Wushuang City were extremely anxious. If it were 1 or 2 holy city, they could fight. Even if it were 3 or 5 holy city, they would have a chance to kill their way out. But now, more than 10 holy city wanted to attack them. Unless the Holy King came in person, no one could guarantee Lin Xian's safety. Chapter 4001. Lin Xian looked at the ferocious faces of the people around him and said coldly, Very well, I will remember you. I will not spare any of you. Are you really going to make a move on me? How dare you threaten us? You will definitely die today. The 10,000 Swords Pavilion and the 10,000 Demon City roared crazily. Lin Xian's lips curled into a cold smile. I have already given you a chance. If you don't cherish it, then don't blame me. He raised his head and looked at Fu Hongye. He said in a deep voice, Senior brother, take the people from Shishui Tianqing and these elders and leave first. I can handle it. Junior brother, don't talk nonsense. Our Wushuang City is not afraid of them. I have already informed the experts in the Holy City. They will be here soon. Senior brother, believe me, I will not joke with my life. I have some trump cards, but I can't protect too many people. Only when you leave can I be at ease. Lin Xian transmitted his voice. Fu Hongye then said, Okay, then we will retreat first. You can't joke with me. Don't worry, senior brother. I will definitely be able to return to Wushuang City alive. Fu Hongye nodded. He looked around and said coldly, Listen up, my Wushuang City will not let this go. Let's go. He waved his hand and took Shishui Tianqing and the other geniuses into the air and flew into the distance. Let them go? The people from the holy city gritted their teeth. It doesn't matter. If these people from Wushuang City leave, then so be it. Our most important goal is this Lin Wudi. As long as he doesn't leave, these people ignored Fu Hongye and the others. Instead, they stared at Lin Xian. They were afraid that he would suddenly escape. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He ignored them. Instead, he said to Morong Qingqing, Qingcheng, hurry up and go back. Hongxiu, you go back too. Brother Xian. Morong Qingcheng was a little worried. Li Hongxiu also said, Can this kid do it? Otherwise, my heavenly fragrance pavilion will help you. Don't worry. Don't you know me? Don't forget my trump card. The two beauties nodded. They knew that Lin Xian had a pagoda with strong defense. Not to mention the existence of Black Mountain. Heishan was only hiding now. When the time came for Lei Ting to strike, he would definitely let these people know what despair was. Be careful then. Murong Qingcheng was reluctant to leave, but she still returned to the side of those mysterious figures. The mysterious people heaved a sigh of relief. They were afraid that Murong Qingcheng would insist. On the other side, the people from the Heavenly Fragrance Pavilion also heaved a sigh of relief. The two holy cities quickly left. Let's go. Qin Xianer thought for a moment, then led the people of Joyous Union Palace and flew into the distance. On the other side, Chao Tiansheng and the others were also retreating. The others couldn't wait any longer. Previously, they were afraid of Murong Qingqing and Li Hongxiu's status. Now that the two of them were gone, they could attack without fear. Kill this brat. Don't kill it, catch it alive. Several voices echoed as countless sacred weapons and mystical skills were unleashed. Kid, hurry up and do it. The Crimson Dragon roared. The Northern Demon's expression was also serious. Lin Xian opened the Great Sage Tower in an instant, and the three of them entered. Terrifying Saint Qi and precepts bombarded the Great Sage Tower, causing the entire world to shatter. The hall kept bobbing up and down, drowned in endless energy. Inside, their blood was boiling, and their faces were pale. However, they weren't worried. This was a great sage weapon. Even if these people doubled their numbers, they wouldn't be able to break it. However, this wasn't a solution. They were too aggrieved to be beaten up passively. Old man, aren't you going to attack? Lin Xian roared. Endless energy surged outside, and these people laughed sinisterly. Some wanted the treasure, while others just wanted to kill Lin Xian. Hence, they attacked wildly. This time, he should be dead. However, they soon heard a voice. You bastards, I'll remember this. When the time comes, I'll make you suffer. Damn it, this brat is still alive? Is he made of divine metal? He's still alive? These people screamed in horror and attacked again. Countless sword chi, terrifying divine powers, and terrifying Saint Qi crazily descended. However, at this moment, a large hand reached out from the void in the distance. With a boom, it slapped down. In an instant, countless Saint Qi was slapped away. Many saints' bodies turned into blood mist, and they screamed in pain. Damn it, who is it? Lei Zhan and the others' expressions changed drastically. Oh no, it's that mysterious expert. Retreat quickly. They wanted to retreat, but it was already too late. The pitch-black hand held a jade-like object and kept waving it. Nothing could compete with it. The saint weapons shattered, and the precepts in the sky were annihilated. The saints who attacked exploded into blood mist one by one. The remaining survivors also screamed. What did you say? Lin Wudi had a super expert by his side, and he even attacked the bronze messenger. Damn it, little brat, why didn't you say so earlier? I was screwed over by you. The elders screamed crazily. How could no one tell them such important information? Who was the bronze messenger? How heaven-defying was it to be able to injure the bronze messenger? Did they want to die fighting against such a person? Run. These people fled crazily. However, the jade-like object was too mysterious and dazzling. It kept dancing and shattered everything. Between heaven and earth, blood mist filled the air, and corpses fell. Screams sounded one after another. These people from the Saint City were originally full of confidence, so they didn't leave at this moment. But now, most of them were killed. Even many small saints had died here. Their souls wanted to escape, but they were directly destroyed by the jade-like object. Run. Wan Jiani and the others' pupils shrank. Yu Quan and the others were also seriously injured and fled crazily. Imo Wuxiu, Lei Zhan, and the 9 Kailins fled desperately. This battle ended very quickly. They basically collapsed in an instant. These Saint City experts and small saints were no match for them at all. They could only burn themselves to protect some important geniuses and escape. In the end, except for these geniuses and a small number of saints who escaped, most of them died there. The dead starry sky had completely turned into hell. Damn it! The rest of the people were terrified. Their hearts were bleeding. Dozens of minor saints had died in this battle. The number of saints who died was uncountable. Even if they were from the Saint City, they couldn't bear it. These people didn't dare to stay any longer. The mysterious expert behind them was too terrifying. If they stayed any longer, their souls would be destroyed. Mountains of corpses and seas of blood. In the shattered void, the Grand Sage Tower appeared. The few figures inside looked outside and sneered. How dare you fight against us? Are you courting death? Now, most of them were dead. The Crimson God said, Old Black, continue to kill them. Kill those on the pilgrim list. The black figure also appeared. He said, I'm old and useless. If I'm still alive, I can destroy them with a glance. Now, I'm just a remnant soul. It's not easy for me to do this. And this is with the help of the Rui Scepter and the Golden Palace. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.